ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 253. We actually have quite a few people on tonight. Last week we were missing some people, but they have returned. We got MVG back here. MVG, how's it going?
I'm doing great. It's awesome to be here. Thanks for having me back.
We got one of our guests tonight. That is Mr. Ryan. Figured we had to have Ryan on because of the big news. Sony buying Bungie, talking about their future and plans over the next 5 years. How we doing, Ryan?
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Always exciting. And then we have RGT85. Sean, how we doing, Sean?
The Knicks are surprisingly winning, so not bad.
Wait, what quarter is it?
It's just started. The game started at 8:30, but
plenty of time to disappoint.
I know.
Hey Sean, have you seen who's in first place in the East?
I don't know, probably some. God damn, I almost got canceled. Probably some lovely team who is great at basketball.
Yes, sir. You can say their name if you want.
The Bulls.
Oh,
I mean, they had a good offseason. I could talk about that all night.
Let's and we do have another guest. Sean, do you want to introduce our other guest?
So this is my friend Celia. She is from Yacht Club Games. She does their PR stuff, so I thought it would be good to have her on since Yacht Club had a big thing on the awesome G4 TV this week.
Yep, and she has willingly decided to come on camera with all of us. So
I am not prepared, but thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Then we have OJ, Player Essence. How you doing, OJ?
with it. Shout out to everybody that came through the Spawncast pre-show. It was fun.
Yeah, a lot of people coming out.
Yeah, we had like 400 plus
stuff.
today.
Oh, that's
it was
good.
good. Yeah,
That's
it was
awesome.
good. It was good. It was good. So shout out to everybody that came through. And yeah, I'm doing all right, man. I ate this week. Long week, but I'm good.
We got Max, Dreamcast guy. How you doing, Max?
Hello. Long week of gaming. Dying Light, Sifu. It's been good stuff.
Oh yeah, Sifu is out this week, isn't it? Reviews go up just
Tomorrow morning. Yep.
Sunday.
I have no idea why, but hey, I'm not a cop. I'll do it.
Sure. Yeah. All right, there you go. And then we have Evan holding down the chat.
Yep.
Good to have Evan here. So we did have a big week this past week. We're going to talk about Sony buying Bungie, some of the sales between the PlayStation, the Switch, and we're talking about Sony's future with live services, because that actually has caused quite a bit of, we'll say, conversation online after some recent examples, maybe not doing the best. But do we want to start, Sean, with the Yacht Club game presents?
Yeah, sure.
Let's
So
start with that.
yeah, might as well. So Yacht Club Games has stuff coming out. Obviously, you know, they did Shovel Knight and stuff. They did Pocket Dungeon, which just came out, but they had a new game debut, and it was on it's still on Kickstarter. Mina the Hollower. I think it looks really cool. It's a Game Boy Color style game. Yeah.
I like it because it has that color palette that reminds me kind of like the Oracle, like the Zelda Oracle Ages, Oracle Seasons kind of. So it does have that Game Boy Color look to it rather than just like a Game Boy game that was then moved to Game Boy Color. So I like the aesthetic of it. It looks really nice. It has that retro, like modern vibe to it.
Yeah, thank you. We're actually limited sprites to only 4 colors per like 8x8 pixel tile. So the team, you know, they love handhelds. They love the Game Boy. So we tend to stay pretty faithful, or as faithful as we can, to that style and genre. So
that's exactly like the Game Boy Color, like the specs of the Game Boy Color. So that's awesome to hear that you're actually sticking to that palette limitation. So I think the game looks freaking awesome, and I can't wait to play it. I'm all in on it.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, it's been like about 3 years now since we've been able to talk about it. So I've been waiting because I'm a huge Game Boy fan, and I'm like, oh my gosh, when can we announce Me the Hollower? So I'm glad that you guys are sharing the excitement. What was your question? I'll try to answer it.
So like you got your Kickstarter, it was funded in like a nanosecond. That's what I heard.
Yeah, we blinked and we're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
There was like $350,000. What was the reaction of the team when that happened?
Our little hearts were like, oh my gosh, like, thank you. So the original Shovel Knight campaign was funded in 2 weeks. And so we were expecting probably around there. Kickstarter, you know, isn't as like booming as it used to be. So we were thinking, oh, you know, we'll see, like, it's okay. Like, you know, whatever happens. And yeah, we blinked and then it got funded. Today we passed the second tier for funding goals, so stretch goals. There we go. And so we just announced like the 3rd and 4th tiers, and it's been a wild ride so far, and we're really excited to see where it goes.
It's called clout. That's called clout. That's what happens when clout builds up over all these years. There you go.
Yeah, almost 12,000 backers already. Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive, and it's coming out on the PS4, PS5. It's basically coming out on everything. Switch.
Gotta get it on that analog
like
pocket.
Shovel Knight, the goal is to put it out as much as we can, but you never know. Like by the time the game comes out, there could be a new Switch, there could be a new, I don't know, new platform, Google Stream, I don't know.
Oh god, the rumors begin.
Vita 2.
No, I want it on the original Vita.
Oh, the original. Okay, maybe not that, but
Come on.
I know we have Shovel Knight's on there. You can
That's where I played it.
I played Shovel Knight like 1,000 times on 1,000 different systems. I've already played Shovel Knight on everything.
Oh, my heart. Thank you.
Also, I like that. I like that you're doing a physical copy of the game too.
Yeah.
Like we're getting that with physical. It looks like it's going to be a soundtrack as well with it.
Yeah, there's going to be a soundtrack as well. So we announced for I think it's the $100 tier, it's the physical. But once the game does release, the goal is to have a physical for non-backers as well. So we're big supporters of physical medium.
Are you doing it in house, or like you gonna go through limited run, or?
So that hasn't been announced yet. We're currently working with Fangamer for the physical for the Kickstarter, but moving forward, we'll figure it out. We'll see.
will there be an Intellivision Amico version?
Oh man, right next to the Casio Luffy, we'll come with stickers too.
Jeez. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's gonna. When did you guys have the expected release on it?
So to be determined. So Yacht Club Games, we never give a date ever, or we try not to. We announced Pocket Dungeon would be coming out the following year, and it took a couple years after. But we are very transparent whenever we are going through the development process. So our backers in the community are going to be well aware of where it is at whatever time and point.
I got a question, another one.
Yeah, go for it. What's up?
Are there cheese power-ups?
Yeah, not to my knowledge. The way to power up in the game is
1 out of 10. 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
Darn.
No
game ruined. Close the Kickstarter.
Shut it down.
Evan, I just dropped the Kickstarter in there. Evan, if you want to drop that in the chat, just in case anyone wants to check it out.
I put it in the
thank you.
chat.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, very good. Yeah,
I
do have
also MinaTheHollower.com. So if you just type that in, you'll find it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think that's really cool. I like the presents went really well too. Like the presentation style format there.
We worked so hard on it, so that warms my heart. So it was really fun though, because we had a bunch of other announcements. We had the Pocket Dungeon DLC, the new update for that. We wanted to give an update on Dig, and it was Cyber Shadow's 1 year anniversary. So we packed it all together with our big announcement. It was so fun.
It was a lot of fun. Okay.
How many? Just kind of a random question.
What's up?
Approximately how many people work at Yacht Club?
20 people.
Okay.
Because and we just hired 2 people, so
nice.
it was 18 before.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. When the Kickstarter dropped, I saw a lot of people. They're like, "Oh, why are they doing a Kickstarter? Why are they doing a Kickstarter?" And I'm like, these are the same people who went platinum. Platinum Games did a Kickstarter. Nobody said a word. I was the crazy one for saying,
complained all day.
Not as much as me. Not as much as me, and you know that.
The king of whining is right here.
Exactly. I was the crazy one, but this is the type of company that can do a Kickstarter, and I don't think anyone should say a fucking word. Oh, well, they did Shovel Knight. Yeah, there's 20 people who work at the company. Jesus Christ, you can give them some funding. It's not going to end the world or anything like that. So I just, I don't know. That bothered me, because I saw even some people I fuck with on Twitter. They were like, "Oh, you're kind of an established company," and it's they made a couple games, and it's a small studio. Let them eat. Let them achieve money. I don't know. That just bothered me.
Was there any backlash from Celia? I was going to ask, was there any backlash from the Kickstarter about what Sean was saying? Because I saw some stuff on Twitter about it, but did that kind of trickle over to you guys? Did you see any of that stuff at all? Or
well, I'm on the front lines because I handle marketing and PR. So for that, there's on the internet, there's going to be, for anything, and it doesn't matter whether you're involved in Kickstarter or not, there's going to be the positive and there's going to be the negative. You could say I heart, like, I don't know, I love Shovel Knight, and there's going to be someone that's going to be like, I hate Shovel Knight. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. But for it, like, we listen to the fans, and, you know, we understand completely, but for it, like, the asking amount that we initially had put there, it's to build a community. Like, that's why we went back to our roots for Kickstarter. It wasn't to be like, hey guys, pay for our game, because guess what? Games cost a lot of money, and we've invested, and we're investing in the game. So it's to give people the opportunity who missed out on the original Shovel Knight campaigns that want to be involved and help make the game as great as possible. So for anyone that's negative, we don't hold it against, because, you know, it's the nature of the internet. You know, it's okay to have a healthy amount of skepticism. But I really feel like, as our company, like, we started out with a campaign. We promised like a ton of different things. We promised like 4 campaigns, a body swap mode, cheat codes, literally everything. And we've invested millions and millions of dollars into developing these games for several years. We started in we started the Kickstarter in 2013. But we finished all of our promises, closing Shovel Knight Treasure Trove in 2019. So if you're going to trust a company, please trust us. We stick to it. We always stick to it.
You're very good. You're very good at PR. Like, you handle that phenomenally.
I should get a career in that. You know?
I don't know if you looked into that. You got a real talent.
I mean, I've never really had an issue with Kickstarters. Like, if EA did it, I might be like, all right, that's kind of strange. But like, if EA did it, I'm like, I don't know. But like, half the time we'll see a game, right, and we're like, man, I really like there to be a physical.
Oh, Nate.
Oh shit.
Oh, this man is here.
Do an intro.
Is he actually here?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Copyright claimed.
No, it's staticky enough. They won't.
Yeah, so bad.
The Boston Wiener Snake is here. Let's go. The Boston Wiener
Is Nate
Snake.
actually here?
Give me a hell yeah.
You hear your chair creaking. He leans forward. Hello.
I was gonna say the Kickstarter thing with, like, you know, like independent companies, I don't really mind at all, because half the time we'll see these smaller games and we're like, I wish there was a physical copy for it. Well, there you go. There's a fund there. You can buy in if you want, and you can get a physical copy out of it that might not have existed otherwise, or the game itself. So
now I do have one more hypothetical question. If it wasn't, let's say the Kickstarter for whatever reason just completely bottomed out, would the game still be coming out? Would the game still be worked on?
Yeah. So for this, our asking amount is $1 more than what we earned on the original Shovel Knight. We decided $1 more because, you know, inflation, because that's how it works, right? Right. Yeah. Okay. Good work, team. Good work. Okay. So for that, it's kind of one of those things that we're already planning to invest in this, but we gave the opportunity to help build a world, do things that we initially weren't planning on funding for. Like, for example, we announced New Game Plus. Initially, we were like, maybe, I don't know. We were considering maybe cheat codes, but not as bananas crazy as we've done before, you know? And so we kind of like embedded it to be kind of that process with things. But regardless, we were going to make Project Gothic, which is Vita the Hollower. Sorry, I'm so used to calling it that. Whoops. But for that, we were still planning on making it. So it's just making it bigger and better, and having the community involved.
Okay.
I think, honestly, I think people overthink the entire Kickstarter thing. It's essentially you're pre-ordering to become part of the community for the game.
Yeah.
If you want to be part of that community, you want to interact with the developers, you want to be part of the process, you're pre-ordering a copy of the game, and those are the perks you get. What's the difference?
I guess it's just because, like, you know, it's kind of the a few bad apples can ruin the bunch sort of thing. So,
well, and that's my thing is, I'm at a point where I just don't trust any Kickstarter, even if it is from a company that I actually love and trust. I'm just at a point where I have been burned on Kickstarters. Like, I put a lot of money, I put hundreds of dollars into the Shenmue Kickstarter, and Shenmue 3 came out, and it's like,
it came out.
It's a story. Yeah, it's.
I mean, you got your game. Come on, you got your game though, bro. What you upset at? You got your game.
No, because
the game looked ass. The whole process, the game looked ass, and you
here's
you made it rain the whole time. It looked ass.
just because I paid them hundreds of dollars like an idiot. My thought was, I was like, this is gonna be Shenmue 3. They gave me Shenmue 2.5.
They
I'm
did.
Still mad about it.
No,
bad.
no, fam. I'm gonna push back on that one, Dreamcast guy. That game looked bad from the beginning. You kept on digging into it, man.
No, what Max wanted, what Max really wanted, and the reason he was buying into it is because he wanted to see the conclusion to the story.
Yes, exactly.
And,
You didn't get it.
I have nothing.
They didn't even give you Empire Strikes Back. They gave you like the opening credits for A New Hope.
I know. Oh my god.
Did they promise? I didn't see the. Did they promise the ending for it? Did they say that?
Oh no! Here's the best part. After it came out, they were like, you know what? I think we might be able to do like 4 more Shenmue games.
Well, yeah. They're like, we want to do
like, hold on.
We're closer to done by Shenmue 5, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do Kickstarters anymore. For me, that was my thing where I was like, I'm done.
By the way, I'm just messing with Max. People,
I know. Yeah, you know, Jay are friends. I have permission. He could shit on me all I want.
Check out.
I don't care. And I liked his review. And I liked his review of Shenmue.
We dropped the Kickstarter link to the Mina the Howler in the chat. So guys, check it out. It's a pretty cool looking Game Boy inspired top down style game, and I'm looking forward to it. Keep an eye on it.
Bro, I heard so much yelling. Everything okay? You guys good?
Well, we were gonna.
Is that Nate?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Nate?
There we go. Nate's here.
Dad? Is that you?
Nate's actually here.
Are you back from getting milk?
No.
He's getting cigarettes.
Damn it.
He's getting cigarettes. Yeah.
How are we doing, Click?
We're good. We're
Okay,
good. We had some chaos going on, but we're good now. We're good.
Okay, good.
You're not dead. That's good. So that's a good thing.
Not yet. it's getting there.
Yeah, Evan, we want to go to a Discord question?
All right. What's the delay on Spawncast plays?
Spawncast. I don't know. We just need to.
It's just
we need to
time.
try. Well, no, it's time, and it's figuring out how to edit.
I'm waiting for the contract to come across my desk. Shit.
Waiting for the contract.
Until then, you can watch my stuff because there's plenty of clips of Sean gargling while getting teabagged.
Half the time we were playing with in Click's games anyway, so you can get an uncut view there. Somehow Click's still on Twitch. I don't know how that happened after a couple of those sessions.
Yeah, no, Sean, we gotta sign some contracts, buddy.
Yeah, another one, Evan.
Where's the Bug Snacks DLC?
Asking the real questions.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? It was dated for spring. We're in winter.
There you go.
I don't care. Fuck that burger.
Hey, nobody hates Bunger.
Look, I played that game. I beat that game, and I still don't really care.
Bunger.
You know, I was very interested in it, but I don't know. I just heard so many negative things about it. Like,
it's cute. It's really short. I played. They sent it to me like 3 days before it came out, and I beat it in like one sitting before being hungry. And I'm staring at fucking like French fries with legs. But
while you were hungry, you were playing it.
Yeah, I was like, this damn game. I'm gonna catch this ice cream Sunday.
It was definitely better than Destruction All Stars, Sean. So there you go. You should check it out.
I loved it.
That's not
I love
hard.
Bug Snacks, man.
Dude,
give me that DLC. Yeah, I played that game like from start to finish, like in one sitting, and I was like, oh my god, I need more.
I think it was something about just the repetitive traps of like, oh, now you got to get the ice trap and the fire. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's like Pokemon Snap, but evil. I mean, this is an invasive species taking over people's bodies.
Yeah,
it was weird to eat. No, it's symbiosis, Nate. Technically, you're eating them because they want to be eaten.
Yes,
they live in harmony.
I think it was
you have to tell yourself. Good.
It was a missed opportunity to not make not have Filbo be evil. I was convinced the whole time that he was gonna like come out with a machete or something. Like halfway through, he just turns evil.
I thought that was
think of
that too. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so they sort of
soulless eyes.
Well, I felt like
he
they
just
were
seemed
also
too innocent.
They were kind of telegraphing it, I thought, with just this overly cute village of people singing around campfires. So like one of these people has got to be a serial killer.
Right? That's where they're born.
Yeah.
That's where they originate.
Let's go to Sony. That's why we have Ryan here. Gonna let us know how things are over there. Sony bought Bungie. Shocking announcement. This was early this week, actually. Bought them for $3.6 billion. And they are going to keep several of the projects multi-platform, including Destiny, which is already out there anyway. So I don't know why they'd all of a sudden pull that back. But even apparently an IP that they're working on now, I believe NetEase has investment with them and Tencent as well. So there are projects we don't know about that are being worked on. Ryan, what was your initial reaction? Bungie becoming part of PlayStation.
I think everybody, right? Just kind of like, what?
Right.
then you think about it and you're like, okay, well, so why did they do it? The gut reaction I think everybody had was like, we just came off the back of Activision. So the gut reaction for everybody was like, that's the response. Well, not exactly, but it's certainly an interesting one. It's one of the biggest ones they've done in a long time. And it goes into a new territory for them, because that's what's puzzling to so many people right now. Like, why Bungie?
Deal was in the works for about 6 months reportedly. And what's really funny about this is I am almost positive a year ago, Nate mentioned Bungie to me. Nate, is that correct? More than a year ago.
September of 2020.
It was a long time
ago. Was it raining that day?
You were like, we were talking about. It was
about 18 months ago,
or before that. But yeah, we were talking about it. You're like, like we were talking about Bungie looking around to get purchased.
Mm-hmm.
And Microsoft apparently was part of those talks. And
but Microsoft had the opportunity to buy Bungie. Bungie wanted in the area of $2 billion, and they wanted to retain independence. Microsoft did not view that as a good deal. They thought the price was too high, and they passed. Since then, Bungie has continued to shop around. And the surprising thing with this deal wasn't that Bungie was bought. It was that Sony was the buyer. Bungie needs funding. They have big projects in development. They need someone to fund these projects. So they've been looking for a buyer for the better part of 2 years. Sony overpaid, but in the long run, this is a good investment.
I actually wouldn't have been surprised if Take-Two or someone like that bought him even.
Yeah. Well,
if I had woken up to that, I think I would have been like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Like Sony, you immediately go, whoa, like.
Well, it's because Sony doesn't do a lot of multiplayer stuff anymore. Like they used to do more multiplayer stuff, and now they kind of fell off of it. And now you wake up and you're like, oh, they bought the original creators of Halo.
Mm-hmm. Well, so like that's the exact. So that's my gut reaction. Really was like, okay, because we've got like, even before the shareholder meeting or the earnings call, they've got upwards of 10 something live service games that you could have easily looked through and go, okay, they're making a big push in this area. So for me, I looked at it and I was like, all right, well, that's why they're doing it. Having them like come out right away and be like, oh yeah, we're staying independent, we'll self-publish. That goes to what Nate's saying, because I believe I remember that too a year ago, where it was floating around that they were looking for a buyer. But they left, Microsoft how long ago? Then they wanted to get out of Activision. So it's clear that was very important. It was very important to them that they wanted to keep their independence and
Jeff's got
make sure they can publish everywhere.
Jeff grew up keeping the names and everything.
That's actually one of my concerns with this deal, is that we've seen Bungie kind of be reactive to when they are being told to do something by their owner, be it Microsoft or Activision. Their immediate reaction is, I'm out. I want to be sold. I want to go back to independent. So you almost have to have a little bit of concern in the back of your mind of what happens if in 5 years Sony begins to dictate what they want Bungie to do. Is Bungie going to say, we're done. We're going back to fully independent. We don't want you to tell us that our next project has to be a new Destiny game when we want to make a new IP. Because that feels as like it's something that could happen. I'm not saying it will happen.
Seems unstable, though. You think they wouldn't have vetted that out after spending a couple bill?
It's business.
Just plan something out. I mean, I'm curious what's going to happen if Sony's like, the next game you're making is exclusive. And that's that.
Well, see, that could be one of the things that would make Bungie potentially be like, you promised this wouldn't happen.
What if this is the answer to the shooter genre? And we were asking, for a couple weeks now.
That's what we kind of think is going to happen right now, and that's the reason if we really think about it, the reason they bought Bungie is so they could fast track all of the failure that we've seen companies go through to find a good live service game, because Bungie's already done that. Like Destiny 1 had, when it launched, I don't know if people remember this, there wasn't that much to do in Destiny. It was kind of bare bones even, and they just built on it as they went along. And now Destiny 2 is this massive thing that has 1 million people on in a day, which is crazy to think about, but like 1 million concurrent players throughout a day. And they just want to get over all that. Apparently proprietary tools have been built by Bungie and all this knowledge they've built up. I mean, look at what we're dealing with Halo right now, Sean, MVG, everyone. Like Halo itself, Infinite, just doesn't have a lot to do in it. And it feels like 343 just doesn't understand how to run a live service shooter now.
It's honestly, it's kind of concerning. I think I'm in like 10-minute queues already. Like it's already feeling like Overwatch length queues just to find other PC players on Halo. Especially at night. I can only play like during the middle of the day. If I'm wanting to play not crossplay, if I play crossplay full squad, maybe I'll get a game pretty quickly. But like PC players, like they're already like just even the way they're balancing it between console and PC experience, it's kind of embarrassing. Like the desync, embarrassing. The no collision, kind of embarrassing.
You see
it makes me wonder what could have been.
The fact that you can't report cheaters and they get banned is embarrassing.
Close the border.
The more there are.
There's a clip that's going viral on Twitter right now called "What Game Am I Playing?" and it shows someone jump down a hole and someone punched at the top, so it sucks them back up to kill them. Where it's like, well, that person probably punched you, so we'll just go ahead and round it up. It's the weirdest looking.
But even on top of that, the in-game economy, it seems like 343 just doesn't understand how to deal with that, and that just comes with experience and time as they get feedback from their community. Whereas Bungie's done that for like a decade or so, like a long time, and they understand, okay, this works, and this works. This doesn't work. Go ahead and get killed. Bring Killzone in. All right, now we're going to go ahead and set all this up for you. I mean, they have over 800 employees. They're like, they have a workforce. They're ready to roll.
Have y'all looked at This Week in Bungie? How Bungie does like a weekly PR report where they talk about what they're working on?
It's posted on Steam like all the time, yeah.
Yeah, I only read it every once in a while, but it's so interesting that they are such a well-oiled machine that every single week they can tell you what they're working on, what they're excited about, what the next patch is going to be. I was like, could you imagine even one tweet a week from 343 at this point? If they're like, hey, I was gone for a month. Sorry, I was making sure this map stopped sucking every dick in the club. You know?
Well, one part of the deal that I think is pretty clear that they bought Bungie because of the workforce is they're offering like $1.2 billion in incentives basically to stay there. Like it's split up between a number of employees. I'm sure it's different amounts, but like then it's spread out over 4 years, right?
Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, explain this to me, MG.
Because mergers and acquisitions, I think, I don't know if you guys have been through that before, but I've certainly been through M&As before on both sides, right? Being acquired and acquiring. Right. And usually there is a pool of money that is put aside to retain employees during that period. Right. And I think that's what they're saying. Like, I don't feel like this is anything different than just a standard M&A practice where they basically say, look, we'll give you X $100,000 to stay while the period is ongoing. And then once that is done, the deal is done and it's all done, then they may ask, to retain them for another year or something like that and offer some incentive to do so. But that's kind of standard practice. So I didn't really feel like that was anything kind of out of the ordinary, really.
You don't want to pay a bunch of people a ridiculous sum of money and then give them a reason to leave.
Right.
Why else would, that's why all these companies are getting bought up. It's talent.
Exactly.
And this is the epitome of what Bungie means to Sony. That's why they probably said, all right, you know what, fine. You guys can stay independent, publish your own things, because that's going to be in their wallets anyway when that, next IP ships everywhere. They want the collaboration and talent with these 10-something live service games that Sony's had in development for quite a bit.
All right, so let me go to that real quick. 10 live service games in the next 5 years.
Yeah, I don't like. I made a video about that.
I saw people react very negatively to this online. Actually, I was a little surprised for this whole thing.
I'm a little surprised.
I'm going to give you a reason why you should be happy. Go on.
Real quick, I just don't trust it. Just in that this last couple of years right now, Sony is completely killing it with their amazing single player experiences. So suddenly you're like, we have 10 live service games. I picture like free to play Last of Us, but you can only play Abby. It's going to be all terrible stuff.
I mean,
the problem. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Sean. I think we're gonna say the same thing. So
the problem is that for every, I swear to God, LeBron James is the biggest fucking bitch in the world. The problem is,
weird point to make.
Clip that.
It's a very strange point to make.
And he's like 6'9", 270 pounds. He kind of is. I mean,
he cries every fucking play. It's insane. I don't know. I don't know how people watch the Lakers because that's ridiculous. I think the problem is that for every one successful games as a service game, there's a million failures, and you see it all the time. You see games, oh, you know, we're shutting down the servers on this, you know, we're shutting this down, we're shutting this down. And it's really, I think it's starting to dilute things. I think it's giving developers a reason to release something that probably isn't quite ready yet. You know, I don't think it's fully cooked. I think you need to put it back in the oven for a little bit. You know, it's a little soggy. And like, that's what you're seeing with Halo. Halo is not, Halo Infinite is not a complete, for the online portion of the game, it's not a complete gameplay experience. Maybe I was naive in thinking that, you know, there would be a decent rollout of the content, but we haven't gotten really anything. It's all been cosmetic stuff. They put back Fiesta in, and like, that's it.
Cat ears, meow meow.
Yeah, you look at
my cat ears, bro. No, that makes me play better, I swear. What? How
look at
battle? Is it fixed?
You look at the you look at the way, you know, the roadmaps. They give you these roadmaps, and they're like, oh, just kidding. We're delaying the roadmap, and it's like, so what am I supposed to do? I don't understand. And the part of the problem, I feel, is the fact that, you know, we reward these things. You know, there's a fucking category at the Game Awards, best ongoing game. Fuck that. Okay. I don't understand why people would go back to a game 6 or 7 months later or a year later, because now there's content. Play other games. Play the games that are, you know, in a lot better shape on day one than something that they just expect you to, you know, linger around and, you know, like a stray cat walking up and down the street looking for a slice of tuna when there's a full tuna sandwich to the left of you, but I guess to the left of you, but you're ignoring it.
Wait, like, Sean, do you think people that play games as service games literally play nothing else while playing that games as service game? Because I don't think that's the case.
Well, so
it's really Sean, not like with Warframe. A lot of people, because that's been a much longer running games as service game, and it really trickles the like expansions out. People will just play it hardcore for like a month or two whenever something big comes out, and then they're gone for like half a year. They don't come back until new stuff. Like how it is.
So, Sean, that more people should use that terminology, because I feel like that's the correct frame of mind.
The tuna fish terminology?
No. Well, I was going to say is Yoshi P, the director of Final Fantasy 14. Sometime Google Yoshi P play other games, and he talks about like we drop a giant patch. It's got new dungeons and raids and cool costumes. And once you beat it, if you want to take a break and stop subscribing to the service and play the games, come back whenever you're ready. And the community loves that. It makes where there's this explosion of players. But I feel like more developers should have the guts to say come back later. Like I feel like Halo right now, Halo should say we've got these like 10 great maps and they're fun, and as soon as you get bored, go fuck off for a bit, and when you come back when Battlefield's dead again, and we'll play some more.
I think that comes down to the level of communication you're gonna have. Like another game I really loved for a while and I still want to like it is New World, but they're horrible with communication. The updates are incredibly slow. The end game, it's like, okay, well, you're gonna make your own content, we'll give you the stuff. It's like you got to build your own toy kind of thing. And they could just really say, like, it really comes down to, even like with Nintendo Online, like giving us a roadmap, giving us communication, letting us know what can we expect or what can we plan. And if there's a roadmap and it's like, oh, this isn't out for another couple months or half a year or maybe even a year out, I'll come back then. You don't even have to directly say come back later. You can just tell them the information and let the consumer choose what they want to do with it. So it's all in the communication of the team.
You know what the issue is? But they never like promise all this stuff. That's why I have this issue with these live service games. Everyone's expecting, why don't they tell us? They never say anything, or when they do, you know they're not going to stick to it, because game development is hard as hell. It's not easy. Things change. MVG, you know this. Like you can be set on one thing. Hey, this is what's going to happen, and then a wrench just gets thrown in the plans, and you're like, damn, it's going to make me look like a liar, right? Because I have to change up things, or I have to switch a date or whatever the case is. So can we just, it's cool if live service games happen. Let's just stop getting all hyped and geeked about lives. Like when that shit comes out, cool. Hype it up, do whatever once we know, but stop hyping it like live service and all this stuff is like the greatest thing ever. Like people hella did that shit with Halo. Like, and I mean, I like Halo. But I found out very quickly. That's why I kind of stopped playing. I found out very quickly that Halo was it's not gonna have what it is. So I just stopped playing. I know you guys like it, and it's fun.
I saw your kill death ratio, man. We don't know why. Damn.
What?
Ooh.
My kill death ratio is not that bad. Wait,
I bailed on a positive. What do you do?
What you mean? My kill death ratio ain't that bad. And what you mean, Click? We have to convince you to buy the game. Hold up here. We had to convince you to download the game. You didn't even want to, and you were complaining and crying and whining the first time that you cried and whining about everything. Hold up here, young lady.
You know why?
Literally,
I kid you not. This is still something I will remember forever for the rest of my life. I'm like, why is this basic feature not in this game? And 90% of the answers I got, it's like, oh, well, it's Halo.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's 343. And I'm like, that shouldn't be the answer.
So like I said, you were crying, whining, and complaining. But now you want to talk about my kill death ratio? Yeah, you were crying and whining about the game.
I feel like this shows that Misclick is awesome, though. The fact that she can like, this game sucks, and then absolutely be a god at it, and then still be better than you, and still think it sucks.
You Onyx over there, Click?
Waste my time playing the game, like you guys. John, now y'all playing about how bad it is now.
John, I can't get to Onyx because I can't find games. I cannot find games. I'm sitting there for like 10 minutes. I'm watching. I don't know why I'm watching y'all's videos, but I am, and I'm lurking. And
fine. I'll get on Halo. Fine.
So you both can sit in queue for forever.
Let's go.
I find we were playing last night, Sean. We were finding games immediately.
So is the game bad or not? Is there a problem with the content or not? Click.
There is.
Oh no, for sure. Like I can't even like fully necessarily always stream the game because there are times like I'm not the kind of person where I rage, but I have almost broken this mouse. My very first thing I've ever broken has been because of Halo, and it's embarrassing. Like I literally had a tweet ready last night. The desync at Halo is embarrassing, but I knew that would be bad PR. So instead, I'm just gonna say it in live person in front of thousands of people. That's great.
Yeah, nice and chill.
It's embarrassing. It really is. It's the excuse of it's Halo or it's 343 that we're literally giving it to it. And I still say to this day, the console should have been delayed and freaking Halo should have been delayed.
The tweet you had of Sean freaking out after getting teabagged at the end was amazing.
So funny.
That's a great sound clip.
There's another one too. I gotta send it to you guys.
Back to the live service stuff. 10 of them coming out in the next 5 years. Makes sense for Sony. I think this is a great idea, because their single player games cost a stupid amount of money. So they got to figure it out. This is it. This is what they have to do.
This was the area they're lacking in. They've been lacking in it for a long time.
Well, if they
had a lot of it, PlayStation 3,
a live service game, it would help fund a bunch of single player games that people like. So you guys should be like,
that's what. So yeah, that's what people miss, is that this is a growth vector for the company. It doesn't mean less. They would ideally love to have a successful live service game, successful single player, a successful service that you're subscribed. They want to do all those things. It doesn't mean you're not going to get another, linear God of War that has, you know what I mean? So,
and this is like right. That's the point I feel like people on Twitter were missing. That honestly, it even took me a bit to sort of come around on, is the idea of like, this isn't less games, it's more games, and some of them you're going to say no to, but this probably just means like, because also in that report, the next sentence says that they're also trying to double the output of, or double the sales of their single player games, which probably means more of those as well too. So.
Like if you decode the actual 10 games, it's all these new teams, or it's projects that they signed on outside of first party. So things like, well, in first party it would be like Naughty Dog's factions. What do you got? Insomniac's hiring for multiplayer. London's hiring for multiplayer.
Yeah.
Guerrilla's got a second project that may be live service. Outside you've got Deviation. It might not be live service, but it could be. Haven clearly is going to be one more than likely.
You remember, Max?
Legends.
Remember what I said? I think it was last year, Max. I said it won't be long until Sony launches a game day and date PS5 and PC.
Yeah, well,
the first one they do is going to be a live service.
And I told you, I said it's going to be a live service game.
I think you even guessed that it was going to be factions. I think you said that.
I thought it'd be factions.
I remember you, because we did a couple Last of Us videos on my channel. I remember you were like, all right, whenever the multiplayer comes out, it's going to be everywhere.
So I got live service. I got multi-platform. If it is factions, that's going to be hilarious. I'll have to go find that clip from like a year or two ago. But I mean, Jim Ryan basically told us, hey, when we make a really nice single player game, like God of War, I mean, we expect 20 million's our roof for selling. Like that's like the roof we expect. I don't think we're gonna go much further. And he's like, that frustrates me because I want hundreds of millions. So how do we get there? You make live service games that consistently cycle people through, and you make a lot of them, and then you make it multi-platform.
Here's the other angle of it too, is that we're getting a lot of this live service stuff. Now Bungie's here. So I'm interested. Like before, I was kind of like, oh, okay, a lot of live service stuff. I'm not that into it. Bungie is here now. Let's see what that influence looks like once they start shipping. We're looking at 10 by March 2026. Faction's probably way too far along for them to maybe influence that.
I think they could help. I think they could help with the economy initially. Like they could help figure that out pretty quickly.
Sure,
but they're not going to help from like early development. Like, oh, this is how physics should work. Oh, you always think, no, I don't think they're doing all that. But
probably something that's tentatively scheduled 2-3 years away. Bungie may very well turn that project around.
Yeah,
we don't know.
You know what? Here's the one I'm curious about. I have a feeling Twisted Metal is live service.
Yeah, I would add that in the 10.
Well, and especially because those leaks that came out like 3 weeks ago make it sound like they're totally trying to restructure Twisted Metal internally right now. It'd be interesting if they were like, all right, pause, let's wait till Bungie can come and sit in the room too.
And so it's gonna be live service, and that's what I'm curious about is if Bungie comes in and helps them with it. But if they bring back some of their classics, I'll be interested to see what they do with it. So, okay, let's do that. What game do you think Sony should bring back or turn into a live service game? Because they got 10 of them. They got the intellectual properties, but which ones do they pick?
Silent Hill.
See, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Silent Hill had to come up.
I mean, bringing back, Brian obviously just mentioned a Guerrilla Games project. I would actually be very okay with a live service Killzone. I think it'd be really cool if they had some seasons.
I don't think they're going to go back to it.
Well, I don't think full team. But I like the idea of getting people who worked on it originally, because recently I've seen a lot of people coming back around on the idea that Killzone had some really good art, some amazing gun design.
It had incredible world design and everything.
Yes. Yeah. And so it's the type of thing of like, I hope we could get that team and that spirit, and then let's get Destiny gunplay, because it's way better.
Like kind of how we've seen like The Division or Destiny or something like that, where it's still like an adventure style game as well, mixed with live service. That what you're thinking with Killzone?
Yeah. Or I mean, yes, but I feel like live service. I have a feeling it'd start off maybe
like player versus environment as well, like those kind of
maybe, but cool. I feel like that would be more down the road. I feel like to try it out, I don't know. I feel like they would try and just start off with some maps and some arenas, and then start putting in like unfold some story in it later. Kind of in a weird way.
I kind of wonder if they want their own Destiny, something that they can just build on with content constantly rather than always pitting people against each other in like arenas.
I think the only difference is like Destiny is such a big, expensive project. Jeff Grubb had a tweet the other day where he was saying like that Destiny was a 10-year plan and we're 8 years into it now. And it's like, it's weird now. You're like, okay, yeah, Destiny really came together. It's like, I just don't know if Sony wants to take the time to see how long it takes.
10, yeah, it seems like they want to just cast a big net and hope something works.
Yeah.
A lot of those games, I have to go back to what I said originally. A lot of those, for every Destiny, there's tons of games.
That's why they're making 10 of them.
That completely fail. Like
if one of them hit
Drawn to Death, Calling to, you can literally list failed live service games all day.
I mean, Bungie's reported Destiny 2 made something like $300 to $400 million in just the microtransactions a year ago.
That's one game though. There's so many that don't sniff that.
If Halo might 10, be there.
If one of them hits,
exactly,
that's all you need.
Then honestly, they might be really happy that they funded 10 of them and only one made it.
It is sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, that's the way the movie business works now. I don't know if people know that, but you fund like 10 movies, and if one blows up and is successful, that it pays for the 9 that flopped. And I'm hoping that Sony isn't thinking of games that way, of have 10 live service games, and if one pays the bills, who cares?
Well, that's, Ryan, that's what they're definitely thinking, because all 10 aren't gonna hit.
Which game you got, Ryan? Which one we turn into live service?
So, I mean, the real answer is I would selfishly want a linear single player Resistance, but live service then Resistance would be what I want to see come back. Which it's so weird to see Insomniac be like, they have so much reverence for it. They keep tweeting pictures about it.
They do.
Like,
they really want it to come back.
Stop doing that.
Maybe they're working on the multiplayer this whole time.
Like, how many of you did you see when the former Days Gone director Jeff Ross had mentioned one of his ideas for
they pitched a certain couple of games to him, huh?
When one of them was in that Resistance
open world Resistance
the way he described it. Yeah, the way he described it, I hadn't thought of it like that, but honestly, that might be something that would genuinely pull me into a live service.
What was the other game they brought up?
What was the other game?
Siphon Filter.
Yes, Siphon Filter. Right.
So those are 2 games they're thinking about right now, and they're talking about 10 live service games. Siphon Filter live service. It's going to be like The Division.
I would love an open world with a mothership in the back, and you always see the mothership, and players are always trying. That sounds so dope. So I don't care for live service, but that would probably hook me.
I feel like they have 10 live services in mind because I've looked around the industry and they've chosen 10 different games that are already like working, and they're like, let's model one after that, let's model one after that, and they came up with 10 of them, and they're just looking at their IPs right now. The
weird thing is that they're all about quality control. Like they care deeply about that reputation for these single player games too. And that's the really awkward position they're going to be in when they ship 10 something live service games, and we all know all 10 of them are not going to do well. So
right,
well, they have this reputation, and it's, at least for all these multiplayer games, it might go out the partially go out the window.
I was going to ask for you guys, what would be your perfect storm for a like a live service? Like, what would be something, what do you feel like is the most successful element to you? Is it the setting of it in itself? Is it the amount of story from the get-go? Is it like you extend your patience to where like a couple weeks or months after there's still content coming out? Like, what do you consider your perfect storm for a live service? Is it the content itself, or is it you can learn to fall in love with the content if it's constantly supported right from the beginning? Because the way I'm looking at it is there are so many games that are live service that have been doing well, but they've been around for a long time. So they've kind of paved the way for content. And they might have been bare bones at the beginning, but because it was like the precursor to everything, we didn't have high expectations. So I almost feel like now it's hard for live service games to come out and not be held to like a ridiculously high standard, because they pretty much have to match the amount of content that games that have been around forever have. Like WoW, you know, even though WoW has its issues and people have their own opinions on it now, they had years to build up to the content they have now versus, you know, like some of these MMOs coming out now. They do the exact same thing, but in a shorter time.
I wonder if Sony will make an MMO.
Years.
Well, say, and there's a quote that came out recently. An ex-Blizzard developer had a quote that was really funny, which he said, everybody keeps playing World of Warcraft because the new game has to be so good, it's better than your memories of World of Warcraft to start with. And I feel like that's the thing, is that my thing, if I could say a single ingredient, is I feel like part of the reason that Destiny was so successful was not only was the gameplay fun, but it had this fun mystery to it where they kept being like, oh, the darkness is coming. Oh, what the fuck does this mean? Ooh. So I feel like whatever they make, I hope it's got at least a couple drops of good lore in it. And then like, all right, let's play with that. Like, as long as it's got something fun to actually like have a plot.
Sony used to make EverQuest and PlanetSide and Star Wars Galaxies and the Matrix Online.
They tried to make a new EverQuest, I thought, and it was turned into Pioneer, and then it fell
SOE,
through.
right?
Yeah, SOE, which they got bought out by Daybreak, I think now.
Sure, yeah.
Yep.
So there's 2 live service games I want to see Sony fund. One from Kojima, just because I want to see what he does with it, because that would be really weird, and why not? And the second one, it should be their primary focus, because I think it would turn them into, I mean, I'll be, depending on where the world goes, nearly $1 trillion company, and that's PlayStation Home, as weird as that sounds. I think if that was
with the VR and everything,
you see where I'm going with this? I think if PlayStation
metaverse.
Home came out and it actually caught on and was a big deal, like how Fortnite is to battle royales and all this stuff, but that was to the metaverse. That's this massive push, because all the metaverse stuff looks terrible. Did you guys see the clip where someone went shopping at Walmart and it's like, why? What is this?
Yeah.
Or like people are like having these raves in what looks like RuneScape, but on like Windows XP. It's like, what is this?
That new commercial for Facebook's VR, it looks like a fucking nightmare. It's like, welcome to the future, and it's this hellscape.
I think PlayStation Home with the new PSVR. I mean, what's that VR game you were playing, Sean?
Um,
the one that was like community stuff. It looks really stupid from the outside, but you said it was fun. VR chat.
Oh, VR chat is insane.
Yeah, VR chat. Yeah.
Apparently, a lot of people
Sean
play
on
that.
VR chat. I don't even want to know.
Oh,
What is VR chat?
Oh boy.
You make an avatar and then you walk around and talk to people.
It's a bunch of like ADHD children running
like,
around screaming, and
you could talk to a Pokemon. You could talk to a Pokemon. Baby Yoda, Kermit will open up his asshole for you. There's a place called Golden Corral, which is just people cybering. It's terrible.
You can watch a TV creature walk to a ledge, tell you to kill yourself, and then jump off. And then you're just like, what?
Yeah, that does sound like Florida. But like, what?
No one move. No one move here. Okay. Plus, in VR,
I don't plan on
if you see a very scantily clad anime girl, it's probably a guy. So don't be fooled by the.
That is great. The girl walk in, you're like, whoa, and she'll be like, hey, my name is David. I'm a trucker. It's like, oh, okay, yeah.
No, that shit's mad weird. I like when it comes to the VR metaverse stuff. I think the sports stuff is the best stuff. Like watching a basketball game is actually very fun because the NBA has multiple cameras set up. So it really feels like you're there watching the game and you have people that are in your range that are speaking. And so you can like talk to them and, get in fights with them and be like, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about, you dumbass. It really feels like a real sporting event.
Wait, time out. Sean, do you like it because you're at the sporting event or it's like get in fight simulator? Because
I mean,
you
it's
mainly talked about getting in a fight.
It's a little of both. Like, you can like move your hands around and like fake slap people. And I remember these two dudes were like talking shit back and forth. And like, I turned my head and we're watching them, and like one of the dude was trying to like square up, and the other guy was like, "That's how you square up? You've never been in a fight before. You don't know how to square the fuck up." And I'm like, these dudes are dead ass with this. Like they kill each other.
They're in their living rooms, like in their recliner, yelling at each other,
like just scaring their kids.
This doesn't sound cool at all. This doesn't. Sound cool
it's just like a real sports game.
That's why I play single player. Y'all weird as fuck, and I don't care. That's why I play single player.
Like
none of this stuff sounds cool at all. Like it sounds like a fucking waste of time. Excuse my French. But
is there a PvP mode in VR chat? If so, because then you could actually get in fights, you could actually kill each other. Like in VR.
But you could like go to this weird like people basically create like things and then
different
you go to
right?
these things. Yeah. So like one of them was like a movie theater where like somebody had created a movie theater and you could like choose to watch a movie and like pick which one you want to watch, or you could watch with other people. There was like a weird robot strip club that me and Wood went to, and like I went up onto the second balcony. I was like, don't fucking tempt me. I'll jump right now and break my neck.
Wasn't that Yu-Gi-Oh thing in VR chat? I thought that was so cool how they did that.
Yeah, there was that. People have done all sorts of interesting
that looked
stuff.
so cool. Dual disc, and then you actually summon stuff.
There was that. People also have done giant Nerf arena battles, which sounds cheesy, but playing Nerf with like 100 people, most of them probably like weird truckers named David. I don't know. It was a lot of fun.
See, people think it's funny, but then Roblox goes public and have a valuation higher than EA out of nowhere.
And I watched my daughter play Roblox, and I'm scared to death.
You never like that's
weird, man.
That's what Sony should do. Bring back PlayStation Home, integrate it with VR, and go big on that. That's what I would do.
But Roblox looks. I mean, it's because they're
and then
preying off
Sly
of
Cooper.
They're preying off of kids.
Roblox
is like preying off of kids, and like I know because my daughter's asking me for Roblox bucks. 24/7. They're just, and that's what they're doing. The kids are stealing their mom's credit cards.
Oh, that's what Fortnite's
money.
They're all doing it.
Well, I've heard with Roblox, I've heard they're trying to pass laws. Did y'all see the story? They're trying to make some sort of. They think that Roblox is literally predatory to children. So
it is predatory. It's predatory to my wallet, and it's predatory to children.
What was the hotel MMO that had a whole bunch of scandals back in the day? Oh my god.
What was it called? Epstein Island? I have no idea.
No. Oh my god. Club Penguin?
Hotel.
Club Penguin.
That was the one where you couldn't say anything or it would ban you. Yeah.
Yeah, remember the speed running? Does anyone else remember that? I remember that.
What's the Habbo? Was it Habbo? Habbo Hotel. Bro, there were so many actual like legal cases that came out from Habbo Hotel. Yeah. You can look it up. It's some predatory stuff. But every time I see Roblox clips or videos or even a random TikTok that comes across my page, I'm like, how is this not red flagged already? So yeah, they should bring some laws out because it's crossing some boundaries in my opinion.
Nate, bring back an intellectual property from Sony or move one over to live service.
I don't think I'd resurrect anything for a live service. I want to see new IPs and new ideas in that realm.
Interesting.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So you want to see brand new ideas?
A lot of those fail usually.
I mean, what are they gonna? They're gonna resurrect SOCOM to make it a live service.
They should.
Game?
SOCOM should come back. Yeah.
Why? Why is it a live service game though? Why does it have to be a live service? Why can't I have a proper fucking SOCOM?
Because the discussions about live service games, Sean.
You didn't buy the one last time.
Well, the last one sucked. Okay,
It did suck.
The last one sucked.
That game
You didn't buy the one
launched
before
as
that.
PSN
I
crashed.
bought the one before that.
They bring out the new SOCOM game as PSN was hacked and shut down.
It had like the gun
So-
like attachment or whatever. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that wasn't a great attachment. But it just also had the worst release timing, second to only MotorStorm Apocalypse, where they had to delay the game.
MotorStorm
Two
Apocalypse
very
is so
unfortunate
good.
timings.
Yeah, I mean, both of those games, PSN gets hacked and the other one comes out as a tsunami hits Japan.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we had these great game ideas and we just had the worst timing of any
I still
release in
bought it.
history.
I do like
More
MotorStorm.
out
I mean,
there.
I hope that would be great if they brought because like I remember playing Motors. That came out. The original came out in 2007.
It was right next to the PlayStation 3.
I remember-
wasn't it?
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah,
I
it
was in
a launch-
college.
Yeah, launch
Yeah.
game.
And I remember playing it, and we played split screen, and there was like the 3D TV stuff, but the other one, which was kind of cool because you could play split screen with the 3D TV thing. So it was like, I mean, it was very interesting. I would love for them to
I
bring
love
back MotorStorm.
Well,
Yeah.
Isn't the rumor that the MotorStorm devs are working on the new Twisted Metal?
That came from like one Twitter account.
That was one guy. His name was like PS5 sucks. Probably tweeted it out.
Twisted Metal's in development at Fire Sprite, which is a lot of the former Wipeout developers.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it a live
Former
service game or is it a normal game?
developers.
It's probably a
Live service.
Its original vision was free to play. Whether that's
There you
changed
go.
or not is to be
You know
determined.
what? To be honest, I can see why they're doing that with Twisted Metal just because of the last Twisted Metal game. You know, like I get it. That game
I
wasn't
hate
as
that one. I liked
know-
it as
no, I
bad
think
as it
it's-
is. I liked it.
No, I don't think it's that bad. I just think that the concept kind of didn't evolve enough, maybe to what people were expecting, and like that's what you're gonna expect with a Twisted Metal. Like exactly what that game was. That's what it is. But maybe they didn't. I'm not really sure. But it felt like the other Twisted Metal games, but it just wasn't a new concept anymore. Like we had already gotten a bunch of games, whereas back in the day, Twisted when that first came out, that was like, whoa, what is this? This is like revolutionary, you know? So I think maybe it was just a victim of, hey, we've already played this before. I don't know.
Well, that's
Did you guys like it?
that's
Did you
the
like it,
other good
Ryan?
point.
Did you like
Well,
the
that's-
PS3 one?
It was. It brings up an interesting point that these older genres and bringing back an older IP that was fundamentally based on, say, Car Combat or SOCOM, which is like a bit slower paced. Some of these genres wouldn't. I don't think they would really do better nowadays, right? Like,
I mean, they'd have to
It's a
change them a
bit
lot. I
iffy.
agree, though.
yeah, they do have to be modernized.
SOCOM has to go first person.
I was playing against
SOCOM.
No.
Well, no. I actually no. But I agree with the idea that they need something fundamentally changed. I was playing some Twisted Metal Black the other day, and let me tell you, that game is slow as hell now. And I forgot that you'd sometimes chase someone for 2 minutes around the map to kill them. It's like, yeah, you can't have games like that anymore.
What about something like
You can still
Warhawk?
love them. You can still love them for what they are, but the fact of the matter is, this is why games
About Mag.
change.
Yeah,
That's why
Warhawk,
we
Mag.
get different ones.
Yeah.
I don't want to see no siphon filter bullshit. If I see look, siphon filter is a great series. Siphon filter should not be a games as a service live game bullshit.
I agree.
Because we
It's
see
gonna-
what
it's
happened
gonna
with
come back.
Halo.
It's coming back. It's just going to be
needs to
first
come back.
person.
No, it doesn't. Why? Why
just
does
making
everything have to
everything
be
first
fucking
person.
first person?
Why do you need to see your character? Can you not connect with
Because
them?
I already live my life in first person. I don't need to be first person in a game all the time too.
I'm gonna make my character be Logan, but he's gonna have the biggest titties when I play Siphon Filter. So I want to make sure it's third person.
Logana.
Logana, yeah.
And like when you're third person, like you can be able to do stealth better. You're not looking at a wall when you go into cover. Like that.
So it's
like,
easier. Okay.
You look at a wall, then you go like this, then look at a wall. That's stupid.
No,
I want to
that's
be able to like Mass Effect. It's like you get into like a cover system. It's like it's better that way.
You want a third person.
Yeah,
third
he
person
needs
peek
the
people.
yeah.
He needs.
I'm
the
excited
Be able to
for the-
target
I'm
the
excited for
person
next
before
one.
one.
popping over to
walls and
shoot
cover.
them.
Want to go
Yeah.
first
don't.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Fucking shit.
You guys like to look at walls and cover.
I'm making
Yeah, I
everything
know.
first
I wanna-
person.
Walls. Love 'em.
That new Mass Effect, get ready.
That wall's keeping me alive. I love that wall.
I kiss the wall. I go up. I go. "Mwah, mwah."
I'm driving. Where's
Games
EA?
making a first person game.
EA's in San Francisco. If Mass Effect is in first person, somebody is. Oh man.
It's going to be first person, like they want you to know it's first person. So any little movement, it's like they got to show you that it's
They
happening.
better not, dude. I'm serious. They better not.
when I was in LA,
Like
I
breakdown
actually
on the original Xbox.
I ended up taking a Uber at one point, and it dropped me off outside of the EA building. So I took a selfie that I put on Twitter, and I was like, "Wow, it's this big spooky building." And I was like, "Wow, they're asking me for my credit card while I'm outside here."
Is that the best opening, by the way, in first person from back in the day, MVG? When it's like, whoa, this is like first person where you're like doing martial arts and stuff, and you can see the kicks and stuff, and they're like, "We need you to know this is first person, so go in the bathroom and throw up." Like
that was pretty awesome.
They show the whole thing first person. This is weird.
You could throw up in Metal Gear Solid 3, which is a third-person game.
No, first person.
I don't want. I'm tired.
First
not everything
person.
needs to be.
So I think Breakdown came out before Metal Gear Solid 3.
I do like Breakdown.
Yep.
Who's listening? Are you listening to like fucking Spotify on your phone, Nate?
That's my radiator hissing.
Yeah, you don't remember the noise effects from his room?
Let me tell you, it's gonna
been too long.
All right,
let's go to a Discord question. We'll come back for the Nintendo.
Just like kill them all.
Sales.
All right,
with my radiator.
With Sony seemingly getting back into making multiplayer games, as we were talking, do you feel Sony should go back and purchase Daybreak?
No.
Oh. I think I can buy Daybreak.
I don't think Daybreak owns them anymore. I think someone else has bought Daybreak. Like I think it's kind of moved on since Daybreak. Ryan, you may know more about it, but like I don't know. I mean,
I don't think that's like. I don't think they could even go about doing that. The remnants of that company is long gone, right?
Yeah.
The amount of people, the turnover, it's been too long. Like, I don't know. That'd be a toss-up.
Yeah.
Like there's a way of being like, weird question.
You do another one, Evan?
I mean, everyone's been talking about this one. We're sure, though, that this Bungie thing was a deal that had been going on before the Microsoft thing. It's not a response.
That's correct. They probably didn't close this in a week.
Wait, yeah, no, this one they didn't just like pick the phone up.
These type of things.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I can talk now. Yay. Okay, so for legal deals like that, just on like the developer side of things, they're going on for a long time. Like one email with a lawyer takes like 2 weeks. And something that's like huge when you're not just, like there's a team of lawyers, there's a team of every different pipeline it needs to go through. This is probably going on a year plus. So no one high-fived around. But I am curious of like how the, like, I guess background like conversations did happen for the purchases, but in no way it was a response. Or it was a very long response.
Let me ask you a question though. Yes. You're trying to tell me after Microsoft purchased Bethesda, there wasn't any pressure.
I think it could have been after Bethesda, right? Because that was a long time
ago, though.
But for Activision, definitely not a response.
We don't know how long they were shopping for, who turned down what, like whose priority was going on, when did discussion start? Because you can circle back to a conversation. They could have had the conversation 4 years ago and been like, we'll respond to this email later when we're done red lighting this contract. So we don't really know, but to say it's a response, I feel like is assuming that people are just throwing around like, how much was it? Like 78 billion? It was some ridiculous high number. $70 billion. Yeah, no, that's not a petty response.
No. Wait, hold up. I was talking about Sony with Bungie. You said 70 billion. That was Activision.
Is Activision? Sorry, I mixed up the trains. Oh, well, I'm just throwing out there. It wasn't a response.
Right. It would have taken a while.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe the announcement of it could have been very well timed in a way, saying like, hey, we are doing things, we are acquiring names. So, I mean, maybe they could have announced this a while ago and then they held on to it, or maybe they were planning on holding on to it a little bit longer and now they're like, we should say something.
Also possible.
Yeah, how would this have felt if it was reversed?
But it's likely they announced the signing or the closure of these deals to coincide with their fiscal report for the quarter coming to a close.
Also true. Yeah.
Yeah, when your shareholders to disclose stuff.
We also we know for a fact that this has been in the works for 6 months because they tweeted out a picture that showed them meeting 6 months ago. So it's like either they met for 6 months ago to play patty cake or they were working on it.
I want to make sure I clarify. I don't think it was a response to Activision, like, because that was that's just, there was no way that it was be that quick. That's ridiculous, right? I was just simply talking about how Microsoft has been purchasing up companies now for years at this point. So I felt that maybe there is some pressure to overpay $3 billion because you have this other company that's consolidating everything, that's putting everything on Game Pass, and clearly that's becoming an issue. If we all know that's becoming an issue for Sony, it's a thorn in their side. I know people don't want to sit there and say that, but it is, because now they own all these third-party games that sell best on your platform.
You see,
a lot of these games sell best on Sony, yet now Microsoft owns all of these games. You know,
a lot of these deals are really coming down to companies are out there who want to sell. And it's a matter of, if we don't buy this company, be it a Bungie, an Activision, a Bethesda, someone else is going to. If we're in the position to buy, then let's take the opportunity and do it. Let's close the deal. And there are a lot of big names that are shopping for buyers right now. And you're going to see deals get closed with these individual companies within the next year or two. And it's not a matter of Microsoft or Sony or whoever the buyer is saying we need to consolidate our power. It's, here's the opportunity. Is it a good deal for us financially? It is. Let's go. And it's just a matter of these companies looking to sell. That's why when people say Nintendo should buy Capcom, that's under the assumption that Capcom's looking for a buyer.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you think all of a sudden these studios are like realizing it's a good time to sell because of inflation and everything with cash?
Some they're realizing it's a good time to sell. And it's also, some of these companies are saying these games are skyrocketing in price and budgets.
Valuations.
Continually inflating how much it costs us to develop a game. We cannot sustain ourselves. If we can sell to the highest bidder, let's come out while we still can before we get hit with a large amount of debt. And that's what's happening with these companies. If it's costing you $100 million to put out, just as an example, a Call of Duty, that's not sustainable for a long time, because now you have to make hundreds of millions, $1 billion on a game to really stay afloat. So now if you're Activision and you have an offer from Microsoft to come in and say, we'll buy you for $70 billion, and you're looking at your games and development saying, this one's going to cost us $250 million, you're saying, let's get out while we can. They're willing to buy us, let's do it. I know. And it's going to happen with a lot of Western developers.
Speaking of Western developers, I remember there was an interview with one of the guys who works on Doom talking about when the Microsoft deal and everything's happening, id and Bethesda all getting purchased at once, and he was like, yeah, it just basically takes stress off our back, because now while I'm working on the game, I'm not worried about sales and marketing, and I hope nobody makes a PR blunder. I just have to make the game. I don't have to worry about anything else. I just have to make the game, because Microsoft's going to keep paying my rent no matter what.
Let's go to another Discord question, Evan.
With the Activision acquisition taking so long to finalize, what effect will that have on the potential Activision IPs and projects going forward in the meantime?
The existing
Nothing.
ones?
Nothing?
Yeah, nothing.
Really.
Nothing at all.
They remain under the guidance of Activision until the deal is done, just as it was before the deal was closed. It's business as usual.
Yeah, I think the only thing we'll really see a change in is whenever, contract stuff ends, years from now, after they've already, assimilated and seen what games change.
Fucking foul!
Oh.
God damn it! This is why I can't watch sports. This man is having the worst night of his life.
I forgot that that's what was going on. I'm like, is Sean okay? Like,
he's not okay. He's never okay.
Should have seen me during the 49er game, bro. I think I almost punched a hole in my wall.
Well, that's what happens when you have Jimmy G as your quarterback.
Yeah, that's true.
What I'll be curious to see is how fast all those Activision games drop onto Game Pass after the deal completes. They just flip a switch and like the next week, all the stuff just drops on there. So
yeah.
Let's go
Wasn't
to
that how Bethesda happened?
It was pretty quick.
Closed.
Yep.
Yeah,
it was pretty quick.
A lot of stuff went on there.
Then they even started putting out like the Series X boosts like right after that too. Like now these games run at 100 FPS, which is crazy.
Yep. And let me go to some of the super chats here, and then we'll talk about the Switch and PlayStation sales. I Live for Retro says xCloud could really use those Stadia servers if Microsoft can swing a deal. I think Microsoft's pretty content with their servers now. I am curious who buys some of Stadia's technology, though. We'll see. Tijo says, a couple days ago, John, you mentioned a sale on the Switch eShop. When I go there, none of the Capcom games are on sale. What's up with that?
Lying piece of shit.
Capcom games are on sale.
Were they regional?
Fraud.
Come over to RGT.
Yeah, I covered that too. They were definitely on sale, but what region is he in? Maybe it's not in his
NA.
region.
It says North America. NA.
He lives in one of the fake states like Connecticut.
Lies.
Cleo says, I've been so busy with Dying Light 2 and my backlog that I forgot Sony bought Bungie this week.
Dying Light 2 is so addictive, man.
It's fun. It's wonky, but it's fun. Zoob says, I don't normally watch content creators who don't like cats, but will make an exception for the the Shodan of Balin review. You got it. Wednesday. That's coming up. So we're gonna talk about that in a minute. Actually,
2.3 ain't 3.
Hold on.
Motherfuckers.
PT says, I asked OJ on the pre-show, wanted to ask the cast thoughts on a new PokePark game. And OJ, why do you think it's not needed? Love them growing up.
It's a dumbass game. That's why. That's what my actual opinion of it.
PokePark? What is PokePark?
I think I remember it.
It's
on the Wii. Yeah, it was a Wii game.
Yeah.
Never heard of
Pokemon
it.
just ran around the park.
Yeah, and like you can interact with it's almost like a Hey You Pikachu, but even dumber. Like maybe like expanded and even worse.
That sounds like it would fit on a cell phone,
be worth
right?
$80,000 in 10 years. When
it already is.
It's like Pokemon Box,
Oh,
the
is
worst
PokePark
game of all
expensive?
time.
I think so.
Is it?
Yeah, it went up in price for some obscure reason.
Oh, it's Pokemon. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Punch Pikachu?
But if you just want me to know like my thoughts on PokePark, it's just not. It wasn't a very good game.
I mean, you have pastures and legends. Just add it in as a mode there.
I mean, well, yeah, they can always do that. Like a PokePark or like anything like Hey You Pikachu, all that type of stuff. You can just do that in the main games. You don't need a whole separate
anything,
$50, $60 game for that.
It would
Those are
motivate
all
more
side
people to
content.
buy it. Yeah, give it a side content.
This game looks fake. Like the cover of the box is so shitty. It looks like a bad Photoshop.
I remember I had it. I gave it to a friend, and now I wish I had it back because it's.
I remember we used to always
than it
have like
should.
5 copies of that in the store at all times. I just look at it on the shelf constantly. It's just
I mean,
there.
it looks like it's worth like $40. I mean,
Oh, that's actually pretty good for a Wii game.
true.
Oh, really? Check out Tetsunuka versus Capcom.
Yeah, I want that.
How much is that one worth? We used to play that all the time.
I have it upstairs right now.
Oh, you still have it? How much is it worth?
It's the only Wii game I ever liked.
I think it's a couple hundred now.
Oh wow!
Really?
We used to play that all the time back in the day.
Wait, which version? The Japanese version or the US version?
I want to say the US version.
Okay, because they have different characters, so it's kind of different.
We used to play that all the time.
There was the other game for Wii. Was it Fragile Dreams? That's worth a decent buck now.
That's only like $50. $50 American.
Truly Epic S, does RGT have trauma from being teabagged in Halo?
Always.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Bronze says, great week for
LeBron's
Sony.
teabagging him in real life.
Raging to it, so.
Oh no.
The Lakers are
Can we get an update on the Knicks score? What's the update?
The reason why is because the Lakers have made a comeback. They're up. Well, it's tied up now, but
oh no, he was just talking. What did I tell you? Plenty of time for disappointment. He was up there by 20 earlier.
That's why he's upset.
Oh no. Zoop says, also my pizza got here an hour early, only to get cold by the time I ate it at 10 p.m. Eastern time. I Live Retro says, name an original PlayStation game that's underrated. My pick is Incredible Crisis.
All day, I'll always say Grandia.
Brave Fencer Musashi.
Whoa.
Dragon Ball GT Final Bout.
That's bullshit, Nate.
No.
Fighting worse.
Some of these takes.
That is
Some
a
of these takes, man.
That game is terrible. Stop it.
No.
Wait, what? No, it's all right.
You guys are trolling me. I'm getting
I'll be
trolled
honest.
right now.
There's like there's like 10 DBZ games on PlayStation. I could be mixing it up.
No, Final Bout is
there
one of the
are.
worst
I'm getting
3D
trolled.
fighting games on
Is it?
PlayStation 1
Well,
of all time.
let's see how
I'm
much it
getting-
costs.
I knew it. I was
It's an
getting trolled. I knew
underrated
it.
game.
I think it's like $30-$40.
Underrated. Underrated means good though, right?
Yes, underrated means good.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
I was
That's
getting
not
trolled.
good.
Jeffrey says, now that Brady has retired and LeBron's Lakers are mid, it's clear that RGT is now the GOAT.
The correct answer is Chrono Cross, by the way.
Chrono Cross.
Yes, Chrono Cross. Yes.
Or Parappa the
Is that
Rapper.
underrated?
Oh, Parappa the Rapper.
Yeah.
Parappa the Rapper. It definitely is underrated compared to
Room
Chrono
Jammer
Trigger
Lammy.
because it's in Chrono Trigger's like Shadow.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Chrono Trigger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Chrono
Yeah,
Trigger is
I
one of
just-
the best games of all time, and then you have Chrono Cross.
Yeah. Chrono Trigger is my favorite game of all time, and then Chrono Cross came out. I was like, it's good, but it's not the greatest of all time. So,
I blame the cat guy. That cat character.
yeah.
I blame all of the problems of Chrono Cross on.
This is from M says, what's the point of being a leaker? It's not something you make money off of, right? They would just be known as a liar if they came out wrong.
It's clout currency.
Clout.
There's a couple of Twitter people that are
Right,
in
Nate,
that right
clout.
now.
Yeah.
Some are clout. Others are just they want to give.
Nate
they
secures the
wanna-
bag.
Not really.
I mean, you're
So-
Manscaped.
There are some people on
Manscaped.
Twitter that are just hunting leaks.
Yeah,
No.
some do it for clout. Others
Hunting.
just
that was
hunt
clever.
leaks.
That was clever, MVG.
Other individuals, they're part of a community, and you want to share information with the community because you want them to, look forward to something, or you just want to give them a little bit of information, and they're not looking for credit or clout. It's just, hey, I love this community. Let me give you some information that I may have early so you can get excited too. Problem is you have so many bad apples in the batch who do it for clout that it jeopardizes the whole thing. And then you have toxic assholes in the community who are a bunch of whiny little trolls who have nothing to do with their life but bitch, who ruin it for the rest of them.
Any of these people hurt you, Nate?
Nate's bad. Well, I genuinely have a question about this because I really don't understand the whole leaking mindset. If you really loved and appreciate the community, wouldn't you also consider like the devs part of that, like all the hard work they put behind it? Like
they wouldn't.
No, fuck those people.
It depends.
They almost never think of that.
But it depends on how you go about the leak. If Jeff Grubb and myself say, hey, we're hearing that Sony is making this super awesome game with this third-party developer that they've partnered with. We don't tell you the name of the game. We don't tell you when it's going to be revealed. We just tell you, hey, look forward to this. And they have the reveal at E3. They show the game. They reveal the title. All we did is give you something to look forward to. If we come out and say, Silent Hill's being announced tomorrow exclusively for the PlayStation 5, and these are the characters, here's the plot, it's going to cost $65, and then the game kicks you in the ass, and we took away all of the marketing.
Nate,
and then it doesn't happen.
And then it never comes out.
I really, hold on. First off, I really want to hear Celia's take on this because like she's part of like the group, but also like I can't imagine like putting like so much work into it to have this plan of this is how we're going to break the news people, this is how we're going to present it, this is how the package is going to go, but people already know.
Let me put it this way.
Wait.
Let me put it this way. If I'm a reporter, my job is not to the developer or the publisher or the marketing people. My job is to my readers. My job is to give the information to my community and my readers. It is not to abide by the publisher or the developer.
The readers.
Before Celia speaks on it, Jeff Grubb said, I don't write for the devs, I write for the readers. I feel bad all the time, but that's the job.
Well, so I want to real quickly say leaking. I want to say I don't think leaking's worth it. I give props to Nate for dealing with the bullshit because the one time I accidentally leaked something big was when somebody showed me the Sonic trailer 3 months early. So I tweeted and talked about, hey, somebody showed me the Sonic trailer. How weird. And I got 3 months of flooded bullshit by people with Knuckles the Echidna profile pictures, and then it came out that I was correct in it because I said, "Wow, I saw the Sonic trailer 3 months early. Sonic
Paradise
looks like
song
shit."
and all that. Yeah.
And I was confirmed completely real. I had 3 months of people calling me a liar and saying I bet Sonic looks great, and then it came out that I was true. It is not worth it. Fuck leaking. It is not worth it.
Yeah, Celia, what's your take on it?
It's really unfair to the developers, and like I get it. Okay, Jeff, like it's your job, and like I get that. Like that's great. And you're writing for your readers, but being on the side of things where you're planning and you're putting your heart and soul into that campaign and making sure that every moving part is exactly where it needs to be in this master plan of announcing it to the fans and joining in that excitement. And then someone on Twitter says, hey, by the way, I don't know, Shovel Knight Pizza Party's coming out tomorrow. It's like, excuse me? You just broke everything. And like, you know, of course, like on our side of things, it's good to keep like, you know, quiet of things. And is it someone, and then it's like, how did the leaker find this out? Was it posted on Amazon? Because, you know, that's free game, you know, whatever. But like, are you under embargo and you're breaking the trust of the developer? Because that's something I know with writers, you know, their job is to their reader, but also, you know, breaking embargo like that for a tweet that shatters your trust with any developer. And being able to work like that and cohesively, like it's important. Well, so like I totally get both sides, but it really hurts us.
Jeff's in chat. I mean, you can just say it. Fuck you, Jeff.
As a dev, as a dev,
no, Jeff, you're nice. I'm sorry. It hurts us. It hurts me.
As a dev that's been on the other side of that, like I can tell you most of the time the leaks that I've seen are complete bullshit. Like,
what if they're not though?
I mean, I'm just talking about my experience. I mean, there's certainly times where the information is accurate, but like most of the times that leaks have kind of been in my sphere of influence or whatever, they've been inaccurate, which means that person sniffing around, maybe they've seen some ERSB ratings or something that's come through, but like they're trying to piece together a story that you just know that they're not really.
We never figured out who the person was that leaked Pokemon Let's Go on 4chan on April 1st, a year before the games came out.
True.
But see, that's also the flip side of it, where some of the rumors that you've been involved with, you have seen them become false. But because they were false, the community could look at it and say, wow, this is going to be great. And the problem is the project that you actually were having is not up to what that rumor was dictating. So then the community gets pissed off at the actual product.
They expect something completely different.
But that's
I also think, Nate, with leaks and all that, there's so much misinformation out there. A lot of people believe it, don't believe a lot, and just take it with a grain of salt. So it's just something to get hype. Get hype. No, trust me on this one. Look, it was announced that Sora was out there. The leak that Sora was going to be in Super Smash Brothers came out in the summer. Okay, and nobody believed it. And somebody said, look, I work for Disney or whatever, blah, blah. We put up some stuff. Sora's going to be in there. They're going to have a presentation on the exact day. It was October or whatever. And he nailed it. And nobody even believed it. I made videos on it. Like, everyone was like, oh, well, maybe it's going to be him. Probably not. It'd be hype. Nobody even believed it. And it was legitimately the exact presentation day. It was Sora. Everything was there. Pokemon Let's Go, all that stuff was leaked well beforehand with Let's Go, the original Let's Go. People didn't believe it. And then when it came, oh, wow, this is the game. So, I mean, there's so much rumors that have been wrong or leaks that have been wrong. People are just like, it just becomes a hype thing. Like, it really just becomes more of like, oh, I'm excited. Maybe it happens. Maybe it doesn't. I'm not sure how much it ruins it, because look at how hype Sora, look at your reaction to Sora.
Right.
We already knew Sora. People said Sora was in Smash, that it leaked.
I don't follow leaks at all. Leaks is muted on my Twitter.
Well,
I will say, like, I have had things spoiled from me. Like, a lot of things that are in the rumor mill right now, I've known for over a year. So the fact that they're just not coming out, I'm like, who just recently found out about certain information that's now leaking it? Because now it's like, okay, now I'm keeping track of, like, I could have leaked things so long ago, but because I'm excited for the genuine experience of not just the viewers to be surprised, but also the dev team, like, it just feels dirty, man. And yeah, secure the bag, all that stuff, that's fine. You do you, but it really does feel dirty. So Sora to me was a genuine reaction. I don't like knowing things ahead of time. If there's a game that's coming out, for early preview, maybe, because it's already been spoiled for me. But again, I knew things about it like a year ago, and I had no interest in even just telling people, because I want you to experience that excitement for the first time, not have any preconceived notion or expectation on how that presentation, like, could you imagine if Metroid Prime 4 got leaked and all you saw was that presentation title screen? It wouldn't have flown. People have been like, it was literally just a JPEG.
But it depends on what the leak was. If the leak was just Metroid Prime 4 will be announced at E3, and that's what they announced, and they showed the logo,
people wouldn't have freaked out as much. People would have freaked out by themselves.
People would have.
But people would have said, I don't believe that information, no matter who was reporting it. Even Jeff Grubb wrote an article about it and said, Metroid Prime 4 is going to be at E3.
No, it did leak out.
It did. Well,
we talked about it on the Spawncast.
I want to say,
remember that.
Some people enjoyed the cycle of seeing the leaks, figuring out which leaks are true, and then seeing the actual reveal. I did a bunch of, I got sent, and I did a bunch of videos talking about all the leaks for Resident Evil Village, which at the time, even I didn't believe, but I talked about, apparently they want to put werewolves in it and stuff, and it was this, like, I did like a year worth of videos talking about the leaks, and then when we saw the reveal, it was 10 times more fun, because like, holy shit, all this leaked playtest data that it's fun is real, and then the game came out, and I loved it. Like, I feel like I got 2 years of fun out of Resident Evil Village when most people got like 1 month of fun out of it.
Sometimes leaks do it the opposite way, where we heard about Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle and it sounded terrible, and then they showed it and it was like, this looks really good.
Yeah, because everyone got that reaction out of the way, because the shock of a Mario Rabbids game, everyone kind of got the anger and disgust out of the way. So when they saw it, like, wow, this is actually a great concept.
You're like sitting there, like, trying not to vomit. You're like,
people were disgusted by it, because they were like, oh God, it's a Rabbids game with Mario. How is this going to be good? And it was a fantastic game. On the flip side of that, when it was leading up to the revelation that it was Final Fantasy Origins, Stranger in Paradise, on paper, all the information that was going around was, this is a game made by the Neo team at Team Ninja. Dark Souls meets Final Fantasy. On paper, the leaks, that sounds amazing. Then we got this chaos trailer of, what the hell is this? This looks terrible.
I'm still buying
it. The gameplay is very good.
The gameplay is great,
Horrendous dialogue with a very odd premise. But the core game seems to be quite good. That's the thing, is when the information comes out, nobody's violating an embargo. If journalists get the embargo, they are going to abide by it. They're not going to.
Hopefully, yeah.
Don't worry, Nate. I'll
Good
still pretend to
journalists
be.
are going to
Nate.
abide by the embargo.
Someone's violated the embargo somewhere.
Somewhere.
Oh my god. No, the thing is though, is that for their, it just depends with your media list because yeah, like the Kotakus, the IGNs, the YouTuber, that have been, working with developers for a long time. Yeah, they're fine. But sometimes, I don't know, if someone doesn't have anything to lose, they're like, I'm gonna quit tomorrow. Haha. I'm gonna get some Twitter clout. You don't know. And what just worries me about those things is that it can really ruin stuff. And like also on the flip side of things is to go on, and sometimes companies plan leaks. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, we're leaking this. Oh no.
I knew it. That carpet was. I know that carpet was
controlled leaks.
Controlled leak. Yeah.
Sometimes there are some
controlled
controlled leaks.
So
But also,
on the
does
other
that-
side, there's that.
Does that make it different though? Because it is their property. So if they choose to create a staged leak, is that inherently evil?
Like that-
I don't want to say
that-
evil.
that
That's
That's a
Xbox-
good question. Went on
I
to a whole
still-
thing.
That the Xbox Series X HD photograph
was
with a big
great.
old pube hanging out of the back. Like I will always. That had
No,
to have
that
been-
was
On the
Phil's
flip
carpet.
side-
I'm telling you.
That
See,
was the
on the flip
original
side of
control
all of
leak.
this is that if the gaming industry wasn't so secretive about everything and went radio silent for 5 years, you wouldn't have sometimes it's developers within the company who go to the journalists and say, I'm fed up with waiting. I want you to share this information. I'm going to give you assets because I am sick of us sitting on this for the last 3.5 years of sharing the project we're working on. They intentionally go out and find someone to share the information on their project that they're excited about, and they want fans to get excited about it. It's the industry is so secretive, and they continue to operate in silence that it creates this aura and this community that thrives on leaks. If the gaming industry was open and willing to commit and say, hey, why can't Nintendo come out now and say, we're working on this game? We will show you it in
Which
2
game?
years.
Hold on, which
What
game?
is the harm in that? Instead, they sit there in secret for 5 years.
I
Say,
know.
here's a
I mean-
JPEG.
Wait, time out.
5 more
That's
years,
how-
we'll show you a trailer.
That's how we get Kingdom Hearts 3. They announced it, and then 10 years later. So
I'm still waiting on. I don't have Metroid Prime 4 here.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
that's a question I've always wanted to ask somebody who's like PR. So, Celia, I have a question, which is that do you know of any purpose to this ridiculous veil of secrecy? Because it's weird the amount of projects that, like, with movie productions, they'll tell you when they're getting 5 people in a room to write the script, but you don't even know a video game exists till a full trailer is out. Is there any rhyme or reason? It seems like you talk about it sooner because the budgets are higher. Why is it so secretive?
oh man, am I
I would
allowed to
answer it.
reveal any secrets? Because it is
Yeah.
the secret of the secrets.
Oh my
So for
God.
it, everything just I have to be general. So for this, everything is a marketing beat. Whether it's announcing a window, if it's announcing the existence, everything has to have a beat. So for it, what are you announcing? Oh, I'm announcing the existence of the game. Cool, great. Then what are you going to announce? Oh, well, it has to be something big. So maybe I'm going to do the release window. Maybe we'll show a quick trailer just to show where things are. If you look at Breath of the Wild, that's, we're 2. We'll get it eventually, hopefully. Like, there's announcements, they gave us a sneak peek and then they keep on moving. So everything is a beat to it. So if you say it's going to come out, we're working on this and it might come out in 6 months, it might come out in 2 years. You know what fans are going to do? They're going to be harping on you the entire window of time. Like, we were expecting this. Why isn't it this? And there's so much that goes into the back end of video games where it isn't just development, it's lot check, it's QA. They work there like, oh my gosh, they work so hard. If they discover something, it goes back to the development team. People don't think about lot check. That's a whole other thing depending on what platforms you have on there. There's localization, making sure all the languages, all the storefronts, everything's in perfect unity. And like, God forbid you have a physical release. Working with retail workers too. So there is so much planning. If you give a date and you are that transparent, people will get bored of like, oh, cool, checking the clock, 6 months, did it hit? Did it hit? Did it hit? There's so much that goes into it. It's not just one factor, but I don't know. At like Yacht Club, we like tend to release articles. We even released an article about us waiting for reviews and what's it like on the development side of that.
Aw.
So I don't know, like, yeah, we're secrets, but hopefully we'll be more transparent. But there needs to be understanding of why the secrets are in place, if that makes sense.
See, there is understanding with the secrets in place. It's just that the industry loves the secrets to the point of where you're trying to do candid interviews with major developers and publishers, and it's curated by the PR where you can't even get information from them. It's all this
Y'all still talking about this shit?
already constructed answers where it's like, hey, tell us about
How's
this.
your basketball game going,
We
buddy?
love making video games. Like,
We're down
that wasn't the
one.
question.
They
We
went
want to
out.
actually get into the meat of the development. We want to find out about these projects and everything going on at the company, and it's still controlled. There's too much control in this industry.
It depends, because also keep in mind, like, it's like movie studios. Oh, can I talk to the director and ask him how every single thing works? I want to know about the PA department. Well, it's a well-oiled machine, there are so many departments and different clearances. And keep in mind, a lot of PR, okay, I don't have to do this. Like, you have to go through legal to make sure every meme and everything that you do is appropriate and on brand. There are so many different cogs to the wheel that if you ask for, it's hard. Like, video games are like movie studios now. And I'm not speaking for indie. Even though I'm in indie, I can walk into the development room and be like, hey, Sean, what's going on? But like, not everyone can do that. So if you want to ask a specific question, it's very hard for them to answer, especially if you're speaking to, like, I don't know, $1 billion studio. Like, you answer wrong and uh-oh.
Yep, that's true.
I mean, true. But I mean, that's why we have the individuals like, let's use them as an example, Jason Schreier. The information he puts out there is leaked to him by employees because he can't get that information through legal means of doing an interview with these companies. It has to be done the way it is, which is a shame because the industry just lacks that transparency. Like, both sides, the media and the industry, have to grow.
Well, he'll also do a lot of reporting on like poor working conditions and stuff too, though. So like that, like they're not going to come out and do a PR statement for that.
He'll announce mass firings before anyone knows that there are going to be mass firings.
I don't know, man. I think it just builds hype, and it builds hype and money for both the developers and also for if anybody does clout, you make videos off of it. We've all made videos off of it. It can be hype. It can be fun for us. And I don't really think that Super Smash Brothers and Sora was hurt that people said that it was leaked that Sora was in there. It was still super hype. Everybody still went out there and bought it. You know, Dreamcast guy, I watched your Resident Evil videos. That was the leak stuff. It was still hype when the game came out.
Hype.
People still bought it. There was Monster Hunter Rise leaks. It was still hype. Hella people still bought it. I mean, like, so I don't really see it as an issue. It's just a little bit of information here and there that comes out. And as long as nobody's shooting and killing anybody or anything like that, or stealing it like illegally, like if they get the information they want to share a little bit, that's cool to me. And like I said, it was still super hype. Like, it was still very hype to see all this stuff. I get it from the developer side, but sometimes it even, how about this? How about Pokemon Legends Arceus? That game got leaked and the sales, people started seeing what Pokemon were in there. That game got leaked and the sales boosted up a lot. So
actually, surprisingly, you're right about that. That's very weird.
It actually boosted the sales considerably because people were like, oh, snap.
You don't mean the announcement of it though, right?
No, the Pokemon that were in there started to come out a little early.
Leak, yeah.
And then it spiked in pre-orders.
It spiked in pre-orders. People were hyped about it, and it just made things even better. And then once we got the game, and everybody's like, "Oh snap! This is amazing." So it works on both sides. Like I get it from I get it from both sides, but I'm looking at it like, hey man, this is a good thing overall.
I think it ultimately comes down to the context of the leak. Metroid Prime or Metroid Dread leaked 3 years before it was announced. 3 years. Was anyone?
We still saw arguing Sean about Metroid Dread.
Okay, we gotta move on. Was anyone like, oh no?
Yeah, this shows. Come on.
We gotta argue with Sean about Metroid Dread at some point. Hold on. This is from Will saying, followed Celia on Twitter. As soon as I saw the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, me and my roommate have been casually getting back into dueling recently.
That's awesome. More power to Yu-Gi-Oh. Thanks.
This is from
I
Leah
don't respond
saying,
to that.
do you think Sony could be acquiring From Software? That post stating each of Sony Studios' favorite bosses was pretty random. From Soft is owned by someone.
It's something weird. I saw well, and so I saw some people talking about that it may happen because the company that owns From Software also makes a bunch of anime and manga, and that's their main profit. So if Sony bought them, they'd have to buy that. But maybe Sony would want to do that because Sony's talking about doing movies and stuff. Like, they might do it. I actually do think they might do it, but it's a messier deal than just buy From Software.
This is from Patrick saying, Max, can you convince John to play Final Fantasy 14?
Actually, John's pretty convinced already. He's talked about it, and I'm going to give him some starter gold because I'm
will play it.
I need an MMO.
I've played MMOs before. I played World of Warcraft when it first came out.
Well, and I think that it's
now.
I think it's the most casual. I think Final Fantasy 14 is the most casual because it has a dedicated story. The daily quests are easy. There's so much. 99% of the game is optional. I'm not even joking. 99%.
Is there a lot of grinding?
No. Well, so leveling is fast. There's the thing that everybody says MSQ, main story quest. You're made to completely level up just doing the main story. Just by the time you figure out which characters are kissing, you get max level. And then if you want to do side quests, they are optional and they're fun, silly stuff to unlock, like dances and costumes. Like, and I love that. It's everything is so optional.
Okay.
Luxian says RGT has a way with words.
Thank you.
Glenn says, welcome Celia, PR rep for Yacht Club Games. Love Shovel Knight. Cyber Shadow is tight and looking forward to Mina. RGT, love you, bro, but go Bulls.
Thank you.
Let me go over here. We do have some sales figures to talk about, Nintendo and Sony as our final topic. Sony, interestingly enough, is it an odd situation, Ryan? In that
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I said Sony's in an odd situation with their current sales figures that they had to report, because on one hand, they were pretty profitable. They did well in terms of revenue for this past year, or this past 3 quarters in last calendar year, but they're actually falling behind the PS4 right now with the PS5 sales. And it has nothing to do with demand or people wanting the system or anything.
Right.
They just can't make them. Like they're in trouble because of that. Like
They
they've
just can't
made
make enough
it ship
of
7.3 million PlayStation 5 systems. There have been some reports on numbers are back and forth. It's been 18 or 20 million for the PS4, depending on what time periods you look at right now. So either way, it's like 1 million to 2 million, somewhere behind.
It was
PS4.
18.5, and that was the official press release from Sony in January 2015.
Yes.
So the gap's widening, not as much as, because the number that was getting thrown around was 20 million. As far as I know, I'm fairly certain it's not 20, but either way, they can't make enough of them. And it is weird because it was a very good quarter for them. It's not like the company's doing bad at all, really. They just cannot make enough of these things. And that was a really bad quarter for them because they were hoping to sell a lot more of them.
Yeah, they've had to revise their forecast down, I think, twice now. So they've
like 11 million, 11.9, I think. Whatever it was.
Yeah. The in 2022, I think it's going to actually be maybe a little worse for what's going on. And I'm Intel and AMD are talking about hopefully in 2023 things will be more normalized, but it's going to be another year where all the companies are going to have a hard time making systems. And Nintendo revised theirs down too, which we'll talk about. But like Sony and Microsoft are in a bad position in particular because they just started a generation.
Yeah, and it makes things worse because then you have like scalpers and people got to buy the systems off the scalpers. Then they don't have as much money for games because then you have, you know what I'm saying? Because then you're paying double the price for that as well, So it just makes things even worse and worse. Scalpers are one of the bigger problems. I think Sony could be making so much more money if those systems actually went to people that were buying it at MSRP or normal price and could have more money for games too. So that's also a problem that I sympathize with them for, because the system's selling. It's just, man, there's just a lot of issues right now,
There's a picture that was on the front page of Reddit yesterday of these 2 dudes standing outside a store with like 25 PlayStation 5s. Yeah, that was crap, man.
It was.
I wonder what the context is of that picture, because I'm pretty sure every retailer has a 1 per person policy.
Some retailers probably just don't care.
They just don't care.
Yeah,
and it's also, imagine, because that looked like New York. If somebody walked in and you're a mom and pop shop that happened to get a big shipment, and someone's like, "I'll give you $5,000 in cash," are you gonna be like, "Sorry, sir, I can't,"
I would not feel safe standing next to those things in a major
store. They do look scared. That's the
way. We're standing next to gold bars, basically. Like,
kick out the door, jump into the windowless van, and speed off.
I would have my anime katana out. I'm like, I will defend these by the power of God.
Think about how wild it is, though, that we're gonna go through another year, a whole year.
Yep.
And you cannot see. It's just like a unicorn. You can't see it at a store in person.
That's weird, right?
You can't casually buy one. I've seen a Series S, at least in North America.
Yep.
I've never seen an X. I've never seen a PS5.
I know. And the top comment on almost all my videos, whenever it's like a good review, is, "This looks great. I'm glad you're recording it on PS5. I hope I find a PS5 someday."
Dang.
Yeah, it's kind of where we are now. It's impossible to find these systems just in a store. And yeah, you're right. We're going to go multiple years into the generation before you can just walk into a store because with the PS4, it was like that holiday time period, and then maybe in April it was hard to find them. But after that,
I do not remember it being that hard for. Yeah,
I thought it was March. I thought that they were everywhere by March.
It was pretty quick.
Yeah.
I was able to buy one in 2014, not like just walk into the store, just buy one, and I bought Last of Us or something, or Bloodborne. I don't know.
That's what so many people are doing. Whatever. If you want one, you can get one. Like if you like try really hard with restock accounts and alerts and all
Jake
that.
Randall.
Yeah, Randall.
Yeah,
totally. But most people, like a lot of people, don't do that. They literally like go to GameStop. Do you have any? No. Best Buy? No. And that's like never going to happen. That's not going to happen for another year. That's wild.
Yeah.
I also want to remark that Sony's digital sales have continued going up, like digital versus physical, to where they're now to the point where it's 67.5% of all PlayStation games sold last year.
Don't talk about that.
For all digital downloads.
What, was it? Was it games or profit? Did it actually say the games are digital?
67.5%.
The ratio.
Yeah, ratio digital versus physical.
Interesting.
You still have to factor in there are a ton of games that are digital only. You still have to factor in companies will do the thing where like, oh, well, you buy the digital version of the game. Oh, we'll give it to you 3 days early because you bought the ultimate edition. You can only do that on digital edition. I still think
of course, the indie games that keep doing that shit now, where they do the indie digital first, and 6 months later there's a physical. I'm sure that fucks the numbers.
Hey, look at
just looking around. Yeah, you know that those guys totally do that. Sorry, exit the.
Yeah, the other people, not me.
Not Yacht Club. They're okay. Everybody else, screw them.
Yeah.
We have a digital console here too with the PS5. Like they ship the digital console first thing, so that's
even more of a unicorn.
And they made it $100 cheaper.
Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, they made it cheaper. So it's like there are a lot of people who are just going all digital now.
I mean, there's also a lot of people that didn't want to leave their house during this time. So you know,
I'm pretty sure I've never paid $60 for a digital game. I don't think I've ever paid full price. Never. It's a wild thought to me.
No, I haven't paid. I've never paid full price for a digital game.
It has to be only digital, and like maybe $20-$25, or I'll wait for a sale. I don't think I've ever bought a disc game or something that launches day and date disc. I've never bought a digital.
I mean, I've never bought a PlayStation.
If something's worth getting to you on launch, you'll get physical.
Digital.
You know what? If it's on a card or a disc, I always get it first.
Got you.
I'm typically a buy only physical type person, just like I collect like retro games, so like it's like out of habit. So I'm like, digital what? But this since the Panini happened, I started to buy digital because I was like, well, I don't want to go outside, So I started buying, but like the sales are really good. I got Danganronpa like 1, 2, and 3 for like $15. It was like not 15.
So good.
It was and I was like, oh my gosh! And I looked up the physical price, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe not.
Yeah.
And so
that's where not much you can do about that.
Well, so I'll be weird. I'll do the opposite, which is that I'll buy a game when it first comes out digitally, because sometimes, like Sean said, they'll give it to you a couple days early, so I can do my big review, and then that's great. And then like 2 years later, the physical version is dirt cheap, so I'll buy it for like $5. That's what I do a lot. So I have a huge physical collection, but I feel like I paid almost nothing for them.
Yes, you do.
Nice.
Constantly grabbing stuff off that shelf, Max.
I do. Yeah, I get
this. So if we're sitting at a 67.5% digital ratio now, a year or two after it launched, you think this is the last generation where we have a PlayStation that has a disk drive?
Yes,
probably.
It's done. It's done.
No. I mean,
I don't think
it's
so.
Done.
You don't think so? Well, let me ask you this: how long do you think this generation is going to last?
10 years.
Well, do you mean 10? When you say 10, though, you do mean like a crossover of?
I don't think we see the next.
I agree.
I think this system's going to be on the market by itself for at least 7 years.
So
probably. I don't think that's unusual.
Yeah, 6 or 7. I get that's still.
I would be shocked if it was 8 years, just because how slow the generation's starting right now.
That seems so. I don't know why. That just seems wrong. I don't know why. Like the last generation was so long, or it was weird that the Xbox 360 was around for so long and stuff. Previous. Wasn't Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 was 10 years, right?
If that one felt like forever. Yeah, I remember that. I was like, why won't this generation end?
Well, no, not 10. It was 2005 to 2013.
13. Yep.
Yeah.
It says like 8 years, basically.
Honest, I feel like the generation hasn't really even begun yet. Like for me, I still feel like we're somewhere in the prologue. Like we don't
Opening trailers.
Yeah, like I just.
Oh, my PlayStation 5's already been through a lot. That thing's like in the final credits.
What did you do to it?
He put liquid metal in it.
I did a lot to that thing.
Nintendo
I had
Prime Video.
temperature probe set up.
And left it at my house to collect dust.
I did a lot of stuff to that thing. Hey, you know what? Credit to the PS5 for all the abuse I've put it through. It still works. I unplugged the fan just to see how long it would take before it like shut itself off and melted. It took a long time actually.
Yeah, but
I
you
think
didn't
it's
get
really
the
hot.
hammer. You didn't get the hammer yet. Where's the hammer?
I want to see a video. Let's have a thumbnail where it's you wearing boxing gloves and it's like, let's beat this shit up. And it's just like, how many punches can my PS5 take before it automatically shuts off? And just plug it in.
Hey, you know, it's stood up pretty well. I'll give it that. The PS5's it's a pretty durable system. Pretty durable. So we also had the Switch numbers, and I don't think it's too surprising for people to hear that the Switch is doing really, really well. But it has now officially passed the Wii. It is the most successful home console that Nintendo's created now. It also passed the PlayStation 1. Basically, it did both of that all at once. The PS1 was like 102. The Wii was at 101. And now it's on track for the Game Boy. And I guess the PlayStation 4, PS4 is going to ship another million, I think, this year. So the Wii most likely, unless the chip shortage really hits it, which it might, very well could come even or pass the PS4 this year as well. So the Switch is rolling along. Anyone surprised? No?
Not surprised.
No? Yeah, that seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
It's rolling along with that.
Still, I don't know. The sheer scale of it is shocking to me, I'll say. Like, I know, and I keep seeing the sales numbers, but it's still, every time, it's still weird to think, damn, it's just, you can't stop it.
Let me hit you with the sales numbers real quick for a couple of their games, because remember I mentioned Jim Ryan had talked about 20 million being the roof that he expects for PlayStation until they start looking like outside of the current PlayStation ecosystem right now, whether it's live service games or PC or anything. I'm sure when he looks over and he sees Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which was a Wii U game, by the way, that got ported to the Switch, is at 43.35 million copies sold. If you take the Wii U numbers and add it to that, it's over 50 million copies. Like that,
that's gotta be one of the most profitable linear, like no crazy multiplayer games ever.
And it just keeps selling. Yep. It won't stop selling. It's like people are like, I can't wait for Mario Kart 9. I'm like, I'm sure you can. It's
Nintendo can.
Yeah,
they can wait all day.
And then Animal Crossing: New Horizons 37.62. That's pretty impressive.
God, that's nuts.
Considering that came out, I mean that's not an old game. It's like a year and a half.
It's going on 2 years now in May. It'll be 2 years, yeah.
Yes. So, and I mean, let's face it, these games that Nintendo are producing do not cost what Sony is putting into their games with their, I mean, some of those budgets are out of control. So you understand why it's like they're looking at this and they're like, we got to figure something out here because this is ridiculous.
It is fun. Yeah, that Sony's like, here's God of War Ragnarok, a photorealistic dad journey that's going to make you question whether God still loves you. And they're like, hey, we have this thing where animals are trying to own a house, and you're like, please take all of my money.
So where dad owns a dad journey?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games on their list that have over 20 million units sold right now.
Also, that game that everybody hates is like the second best selling Pokemon game of all time. Pokemon
Sword and Shield. Yeah, I saw that. That moved up to 23.9. You know, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearls at almost 14 million right now.
Yeah, sold that in a month.
That's ridiculous.
I was actually kind of shocked about that. That kind of shocked me just a little bit that it would be the 9th best selling game on the Switch of all time in a month and a half. I
still haven't finished it. I'm on like the 8th gym, and I'm like,
you don't got to finish
this game.
Like, you actually don't need to finish it.
I have to finish it. I finished up Arceus already, and now I'm like, I'm gonna go and finish this one.
You don't need to finish up that game.
Arceus at 6.5 million though already in like 3 days.
Yeah. Wow.
That's ridiculous too. Do we need 2 copies of Pokemon anymore? Let me ask you this.
I don't want it. No.
I'm pretty sure Game Freak looked at it and said, how much more could we have made if there were 2 copies?
Which one did you get, right? Did you get Diamond and Pearl?
I got 2 Arceus.
No.
I'm telling you, people just bought. Well, you know what they did is, well, since there's no 2 copies, I'm just gonna buy 2 of the game. That's what people did, man.
You can trade, right?
I pre-ordered it from their site so I could get the Arceus plush. And they didn't have day 1 shipping, and I wasn't gonna wait, so I went to the store and got another one. And then when they sent the Pokemon Center one, I didn't get the plush. So
wait, seriously?
That felt good.
Never got it?
Yeah. Now I have 2 of them.
I'm telling you, know what people did? They just bought a copy for a friend. They're like, okay, well, there's not 2. I usually buy 2 anyway. For the people that actually buy 2, they just said, I'll buy a digital copy and I'll buy a physical copy, keep it sealed, or I'll just buy a copy for a friend. That's all they did, man.
Everyone bought that game. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, because that is, I think the best selling one in Japan.
Second.
behind. It's behind
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing for Switch games general, but like for Pokemon games, it's like the best selling one in Japan, right? Or was it behind? Oh no, it was behind Sun and Moon. It was behind Sun and Moon.
Yeah. There's another game that was ahead of
behind
it.
Sun and Moon. Otherwise, though, but it's up there with games that have 2 copies, and there's just 1 copy. So.
And that's what I hope it'll stay. I don't know. I always thought it was stupid of like, oh, there's like 4 Pokemon over here, and you have to buy a separate whole game or find a friend. Look, I ain't got friends that like Pokemon.
You know
right?
what? I said it on Twitter. People were mad. I'll say it again. This should be the main Pokemon series going forward.
Yeah.
It should be Legends. Okay, they can still do the traditional ones. Legends is the main one. Get the A team on that. That game needs help too. they got to do stuff to that game.
Like the Knicks.
Or the Knicks win?
No, look at his face. Tell me.
They're getting kind of cooked. They're getting kind of cooked right now.
Oh,
Sean's mic is muted. That way he can be ready to yell. You can tell.
How much time is left in that game?
There's only 2 minutes left, and they're down by almost 10.
What is the length of smoke break you're about to take?
Dread?
Yes. We're waiting. No, we need to have Sean's attention for this.
What is it? Nate, how many copies did the game sell?
Hold on. I gotta go to it. I gotta go to it.
Sean's like ready to go.
That's a fraud, dude.
Okay, I'm pulling up the financials here. Nintendo has shipped 2.74 million copies of Metroid Dread.
That's not what I asked.
As of December 31st.
I asked how many copies did Metroid Dread sell? Not shipped, sell, because
Sold
that was
through 2.3 million copies to
Thank
customers.
you. It's not 3 million yet. Will it probably hit 3 million? I more than likely yes, but it's not a done deal yet. You still got 700,000 copies to go.
You see, Sean, I went back
It's
to
over.
I went back to an old Spawncast episode, and I tried to give you an opportunity to use sold through and shipped as an out.
Obviously,
and you said 3 million anyway.
No.
I gave you the opportunity to differentiate between the two, and you said 3 million either way.
Shamsa disagrees with you.
No, we have time out. Hold up here, Sean. It's sold because we always report on the numbers that Nintendo sells them to the retailer, so they get the money. It's sold. It's sold, and you know that's the case.
Is it
all the numbers that we report on are
Arceus is shipped, right? Because they wouldn't have sell-through numbers back yet.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. And like, look at like Legend of Zelda. It's 25 million, dude. That's not 25 million sold through the customers. That's what they've shipped, and everybody reported. Oh well, Zelda's at 25 million. So no, bro. It was 3 million sold.
It sounds like
you're damn controlling here.
I gotta take a look at Sean's latest video because Pokemon Legends Arceus did the unthinkable without sales numbers to customers. I don't know how it did that without sell-through to customers.
I don't know either. I mean, that's unthinkable that they shipped 6.5 million in just 6 days. That's very impressive.
I wonder if you said sold, shipped or did you say sold?
Yeah, you didn't differentiate between the two.
I'm sure I said the right thing.
See, I tried to help you months ago, Sean.
Yeah, but
I knew this was going to come up.
If there's 400,000 just sitting there, are they going to ship more?
I don't know. I'll tell you this.
Let's
as
put it
somebody
this way.
who bought from Nintendo for stores, they don't take those games back.
I mean, let's put it this way. Looking at those figures of 2.3 to 2.7 means they've had a sell-through rate of over about 85%. So the actual sales to customers at this point is probably in the area of 2.6 million, which shipping, let's say they made up for that exact difference at 2.9. Ultimately, probably come the end of the fiscal year, they will report a number north of 3 million shipped.
Well, I sure hope that they report it.
So you will be playing Balan Wonderworld.
If they don't report it, if it's all assumption, I win.
That's bullshit.
How? You can't prove it. You cannot prove it until we are going by what Nintendo says. If Nintendo does not update the sales numbers, then Nintendo does not say that a game sold 3 million. I'm not going to assume.
This man is reaching right now.
How would we assume?
It's kind of like when Cyberpunk came out and they said they shipped 10 million copies, and then we found out the sell-through rate was only really 5 million.
Well, is it sold if it's shipped?
I think it's because they got their money. They're not taking it.
Money is sold.
How many copies did Balan ship? Are those sold?
No.
I don't even know. They didn't even report it.
I have a copy of it.
Well, look, I can give you guys a track. I know, Sean, you like to poo-poo when I say stuff like this, but if you look at the Amazon sales and you see that the numbers are moving, and the fact that people are still buying the game because you said it, oh, nobody cares, it's Amazon, who cares? Well, I mean, maybe people cared a little bit because it was #1 there for a long time, and I knew that it was going to move some units, and you said it was nothing. So what happened?
Sometimes I'm gonna have to go back to the tape. Because if Sean ever specifies in a previous video that he's saying 3 million sold to customer, then he is right here.
Thank you.
He never did.
Hey, say Sean, just hypothetically, Sean, because you are going to definitely have to play this. Could you sign my copy of Balan? You see, I actually kept this sealed for you. I own it digitally and physically. So
hey, next too many games, people better be rolling out with Balan Wonder.
Yeah, we already had the one guy come with it, and Sean didn't show up, and that felt really bad.
Oh, Sean's signing my. Sean, you got to sign my copy, please.
Sean, can you sign mine too? I'm jumping on this bandwagon.
Dude, hell yeah! Come on.
Report 3 million.
So I want to. There's 2 autographs I want right now from the Spawncast. I genuinely want. I already talked to MVG. I want MVG to sign my copy of Quake because I bought the PS5 physical edition because that's so awesome, and I have to get Mr. Balan himself to sign Balan Wonderworld for me.
If they don't say 3 million, I'm not assuming.
Now, Sean,
and none of you should either.
Now, Sean, I'm trying to be your lawyer here. I'm trying to help you. If they come out, at the end of the fiscal year and they say we have shipped, we'll say 3.3 million, just as a number, but they don't update the sold to customer number, are we still going to operate under the idea that it is at 2.3?
I was just going to say, what if they say shipped 5 million and his response is, well,
if we don't have
how many were sold though?
Number.
I feel like
there's 2 million copies sitting in a warehouse. Yeah.
I mean, and I feel like you can make a case for it. I feel like it's not a yes or no answer.
In the court of law, you're correct. We don't have any evidence to necessarily support that it has sold to 3 million individuals.
That we like subpoena Nintendo for the numbers or something crazy.
The deal was never sold through to customers. It was never sold through to customers.
However, Shamsa disagrees with you. So you're going to go against Shamsa?
What you mean, bro?
You're going to go against Shamsa? I'm not going to go against Shamsa. I love you, Shamsa. You have my PayPal. You don't have to. Don't support OJ, who throws you under the bus and says you're a liar. Because to me, you're not a liar.
I'm not throwing Shamsa under the bus. What I'm saying is that Nate pulled up the tape and you said anyway. And that's the numbers that we've always been reporting on.
I tried to help you 6 months ago.
Nate, the tape.
Nate,
let me go through some of these super chats here as we finish up. But let me ask Ryan. Ryan, did you get a chance to play Arceus?
I finally started because it's weird. I did buy it day 1, but I didn't actually get to it till like the following weekend or the week, like Wednesday, somewhere around there. But yeah, I started it.
Okay, I know you're a big Pokemon fan for a while. What you think of that?
I love
gameplay?
it.
That gameplay. Should you like it? Okay, good.
Oh,
good.
Dude, it's my favorite franchise.
What about Arceus? What do you think of that change up for Arceus?
I love it.
You think of it? Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm all in, 100%.
Let me see. Let me go. I'm going to start going through some of these super chats here real quick. And Evan, we have Discord questions left that we can go to afterwards.
Yeah, we still got a bit.
Cool. Monroe says AFC or NFC. Went to the practices. AFC looking fire. I'll go NFC. Adrian says, "Hey John, first time donating Spawncast rules. Sup OJ?" 2007 says, "I just watched a 38-minute Castlevania Symphony of the Night run, world record. I got the Xbox 360 version on Series X."
Nice.
And Liam says Nintendo should buy a Yacht Club. It could be great. Yacht Club's doing pretty well. I think they're doing.
We like having control of what we do. That's why
stay indie. Stay indie.
But thanks.
Demi says 3DS or Atari VCS port. For Mina, would you put on a 3DS or Atari VCS port?
I guess Atari VCS runs Steam, right? Theoretically.
Yeah, technically it could run. It would run on Atari VCS then. Yeah. Console says guest question: GameCube or N64?
Oh, that's hard. Nintendo 64, because I'm an N64 kid.
Yes.
My heart.
Hold on.
Yes.
All right, now Ryan, GameCube or N64?
There it is. That you heard it here.
Asked Ryan once.
I was asked that one.
Oh, you were okay. You were okay. So she went 64. Usually people say GameCube. So okay.
Like I get why, because of Smash and like
I like
obviously
frauds say
updated.
GameCube that never actually bought it when it came out back in the day.
It has a handle though. That's pretty cool.
It's true.
See?
But the
Yeah, but the
N64
N64 was
has
a
a
tank. You
pad.
just throw that thing in your bag,
So-
it would not break.
I'm telling you, everybody that likes N64 over GameCube, you guys eat unseasoned chicken. I'm just saying that it's not seasoned, doesn't taste good. That's just
Hurtful.
That's a specific
Accurate
accusation.
but hurtful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. How dare you
It's
look in my
unseasoned.
kitchen like that? My God.
it's unseasoned. There's no flavor. It's unseasoned.
Like I have
gosh.
basil, thank you very much. No.
See, exactly.
I store it next to the garlic powder just so I don't even have to touch it. It's fine.
Okay, my defense for the Nintendo 64, there was a fanny pack accessory where you could just show up at your friend's house and carry it on your like your side. So did the GameCube have that? No, because I would have bought it.
GameCube had a handle and it had its cute little disc case.
grab it
If you
and
had the
yeet it
cute
off
little
your
disc
roof.
case.
GameCube had
Oh,
games
that
that
was
run in
cute. That
actual
was
good
cute.
frame rates. So that was, I mean, that was cool.
GameCube is aged probably some of the best games after all this time. Just saying, a lot of GameCube games look hella good still to this day.
Well,
also,
Mischief.
Game-
Oh, sorry.
Game Boy player, which is cheating because I love the Game Boy. So bam, there.
You can play Game Boy on N64. You just didn't have the device.
Yeah, and then the Nintendo 64. It did the thing where the marketing line about the what's it called, the jumper pack, or I don't remember the actual name of it.
You're talking about
But it added-
the
yeah, extension pack.
Stone?
It added more power.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
It did.
Just fix
GoldenEye was
bug.
running at 10 frames today with it.
God
damn you, Alex Burks!
I do.
This is Brendan says, so excited for Mina the Howler.
Thank you.
And then Zoop says, Mina the Howler on Analog Pocket, yes or no?
No, not
I mean,
gonna happen.
no.
Yes, please.
Okay, so side note about that,
Unavailable.
I'm a huge Game Boy fan. I would love to see it on Game Boy, but it honestly, though it has the aesthetic and all the feelings of Game Boy Color, if you open up the hood, it's a completely different type of programming experience. So I don't know if the community figures it out, go for it. But I don't think that's
MVG
gonna
go.
happen.
Activate.
Go.
People port stuff to Dreamcast all the time that you would not expect to be possible.
I made a video about
Really?
Tomb Raider running on the Game Boy Advance. I feel like we can get your game on the Analog Pocket.
We'll talk later. But for interest of purely science.
Andrew says, Mina for Rivals of Aether 2, please.
Oh, Rivals of Aether, that'd be so cool.
Aether,
Shovel Knight
there you go.
appeared on that. Appeared on that as well.
There you
see.
go.
We'll
Okay,
see where
super
the
cool.
world takes Mina.
This is from Brendan saying, love the Stone Cold Steve Austin music. That's from Nate.
Damn right.
Trip and Fall says, hey, MVG, how about those Rams?
Hey, still unhappy about that.
Jared says, in Mina the Hollower, is there an easy mode?
Sure. It's not playing through. No, I'm kidding. Okay. So for that, it depends in different. How do I say it? With like the games that we develop, we typically try to develop so there's accessibility for all levels of gaming. But for it, what we're able to do is we're planning on having different items you can customize for. So certain items might fit better with your play style. It just depends on the person that's checking it out. But like I said earlier, we try to develop for all different types of players. So we'll see. That's my complicated answer for maybe.
For anyone who's been joining as we've gone along here, Ryan and Celia's accounts are down in the description as well. You can check them out further if you have any questions. All right. So Jake says, is Yacht Club working on a 3D platformer?
Wow, that'd be really cool. Like I say, for anything that's not announced, I don't know. It's not in the pipeline right now, though. Make sure to stay tuned to our social media pages and website. If we're able to announce it, I'd post it there. Thanks.
Nate said, fuck off. He's going to leak it.
No.
Hey, if somebody ends up sending me a message on my Signal and they say you can share this information, I will consult my sources.
Damn.
And what's that signal? What's the Twitter, Nate, that you want that sent to?
Ooh. I
Hey,
don't
what's
want
with
to
the- what's
DM
with
to
the-
any Twitter account.
Nate, what's with that Batman signal on your Twitter account?
You'll find out early next week on the next episode of Nate the Hate.
Well,
No,
see,
is it-
you
is it
guys
Batman
told me
related?
what it was, though. So can I leak that?
What?
Right?
I didn't tell you what it was.
Just between us and
I
everything.
mean,
You signaled pretty hard.
kind of did.
MVG's
Got
maybe
signal all over the
isn't an
place,
answer.
man.
I mean, it's not a not answer though.
You'll get the official answer in my show.
I think MVG did eyeball emoji, which means yes.
Wait,
that's what I normally do.
We tied the game somehow. my feed is behind.
Veluxian says, "Welcome back, Nate. I've been wondering while you were off the grid, did you play any weird games?"
Oh God. The hell have I played?
Nothing.
I've been playing Infernax on the Switch. Comes out Valentine's Day. Can't get into any details due to the embargo, but I can say I'm playing it.
Oh yeah, okay, embargo. Okay.
I'm not giving any details about the game. I played the game 2 years ago at PAX East.
2 years.
Was that the infamous PAX East meeting you had?
No, that was Pog.
The tiny room.
This one, Infernax
hotel
had
room.
this awesome setup where it was like an 80s basement, and they gave you Capri Sun, and if you beat the demo, you could get a VHS tape. So I tried to beat the demo in the allotted time so I could win a VHS copy of Die Hard, but I didn't finish it in time, so I didn't get Die Hard, and it kind of pissed me off because I was going to give it to Fringe. I was going to sign it and give it to Fringe as like Hans Gruber, but it didn't happen.
This is from Jeff saying, RGT, I picked up the iArcade Retromania wrestling cabinet. Bad decision?
Is that a question or?
They just asked if it was a bad decision.
No, iArcade's awesome, dude. There's so many cool games on it.
Liam has a question for the guest saying, what was your reaction at Yacht Club to Shovel Knight as an assist in Smash? Can't imagine how amazing that must feel as an indie.
It's pretty cool. We're really thankful for our being able to be involved with Super Smash in general, even as an assist trophy. We're thankful, and there's actually a video on our YouTube channel at Yacht Club Games that has our entire team's reaction to getting a Shovel Knight as an assist trophy for the first time.
Really?
So go check it out, and you can find out. Spoiler alert, they're just screaming the whole time, yelling, Shovel Knight, Shovel Knight, Shovel Knight! It's pretty cool. Check it out.
Damn.
Cute.
That's awesome. Imagine if it was a character. You guys would have exploded. You guys would have.
Oh, we would have cried happy tears.
Yeah, it would have been crazy.
Thankful. Like, to be like an assist trophy is amazing, and like, I don't know, Nintendo is pretty cool. So thanks,
That's
Nintendo.
cool. Assist trophy's still cool.
Yeah.
Eldon says, welcome back, Nate. And this is Harry says, how much do I need to contribute to the Yacht Club Kickstarter to get Mina the Howler Arby's toys?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so some backstory on that. We did a collaboration with Arby's. It was the kid meal toys.
I saw those, yeah.
Yeah, I usually have the bag behind me, like as like a funny Easter egg, but I left that on the G4 set, so never mind. But for that we did a bunch of Arby's themed cheat codes and all that good stuff, and you could get little launcher toys. It was really fun. But for Mina, I don't know what the future is like. What holds? Arby's, call us. We'll work it out.
This is from John saying, Mystic needs to be part of the Spawncast more often. Yes, we Mystic on here. We got some cool Sony stuff to talk about and everything. Oh yeah, absolutely.
You can definitely bring me on outside of PlayStation too.
Oh, okay, cool.
I do that enough on my own.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Yeah, we'll get Mystic on some more. It'll be fun. I think 2020 is gonna be a good year.
I'm going to start teaching you guys how to do this on an actual server rather than the DMs. Jesus.
I used to do it so people just pop in whenever they want.
Yep.
It's like, who wants to pop in? All right, cool.
No, that's how it can be set up. That's not a
pop
problem.
in, pop out, whatever. It doesn't matter.
I'm down for that.
Baba says, shout out and question for both guests. Have you bought a Nintendo Switch yet? And will Dread get to 3 million before October?
I got my Nintendo Switch from a friend. So I didn't buy one, but I acquired. Okay, so time out. Background story. This actually has to do with Sean. Okay.
No, don't tell stories. No.
Don't tell stories.
Sean tells stories all the time.
Go.
Oh, pressure.
Sean sucks. Go.
Sean, am I not allowed to tell them?
I mean, you can. I don't give a shit.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Okay, so basically, I have this whole thing where I don't buy consoles. I win them. I have my Nintendo 64 on my shelf right there. I won that. I won a Super Nintendo. I won my PS4. So in my life canon, I've won things. I'm going to win it. So like this whole existence of the Switch, I've been like just entering random contests trying to acquire it. And then I guess Sean was like, hey, Celia, I'm holding a raffle for my Nintendo Switch Lite. Do you want in? And I was like, yeah. He's like, send me $1. And I was like, okay. And then I sent him $2 because I wanted extra chances. And it turns out he lied. There was no contest. He just sent me in like a Switch Lite.
I thought it was fucking weird that this person does not have a Switch Lite. And I'm like, well, I'm not fucking using my Switch Lite. I bought it for my. So no, she doesn't have a Switch.
John,
at all.
I don't have one. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, this is
That
my
was
Switch.
withdrawal, so I was like,
Okay, but
well,
the
I
thing is,
bought it
though,
for the
I was
video.
mad because I wanted to win it, and I feel cheated.
Yeah,
But I'm
bro,
thankful.
yeah.
Like Sean's great, but like I feel cheated.
Super
get-
quick, you
can
know, fucking Nate. Oh, Nate has the solid gold.
Nate's got the gold PlayStation.
He won the
Yeah.
gold PlayStation 4 from Taco Bell.
Wait,
I
no,
wanna buy
didn't
it
you get
off
the
him.
other one? What
And he
you got two
refuses
things.
to let me use it in a video.
I won the
So
gold
rude.
Taco Bell PS4, and then I won a PSVR.
Yeah,
from
the
Taco
VR.
Bell.
Wait,
Taco
Nate,
Bell
did
And
I-
I
VR.
never bought Taco Bell food
Nate, do you still have the box?
for the gold box.
PS4.
Yeah, I even got the little business
I'm gonna
card
need to
give
see
you
that.
a number.
You're gonna have to let me do something like actually
Dude.
like open it up on camera and stuff.
Yeah,
Let me do that.
I want to buy it off you. Honestly, it's just so weird.
You know, in terms of how many of those they made, it's more rare than the 20th anniversary PS4.
Yeah,
It
there's.
is, but I looked up.
Nate's just like, I don't know what I'm gonna
have
make a
one of
video
those.
on. What am I
It
gonna
is
do? He has like a
rare.
solid
I
God
use it.
gold PS4 next to him.
I use
Oh,
it.
you're putting wear and tear on it.
Oh no!
Yeah, right.
How dare you?
Alright,
That's
He
it.
told you that was his
worth
radiator.
anything.
The
There's
PlayStation's
national
heating his
Hundred of
room.
them in the
treasure.
world, and they're like $400. I'm like,
I don't think they are actually. I think they are worth a little.
How much are
something.
they?
Wait,
No,
yeah,
they're-
because I will buy
looked
one
it
right
up.
now.
No, I looked it up.
$400.
They're not worth shit. I looked it up.
No,
Yeah,
wait.
we can look right now.
Max, did you
$400
look
for some
those up, or
reason.
did people like spray paint some and then try to sell them?
No, I looked up Taco Bell edition. Yeah, okay, they're $400.
Yeah, there's one for 900 right here
No, that's like sealed.
in
and it comes-
Australian
that-
dollars.
That comes with a
So
ketchup
like $30.
packet. Yeah.
Goes the
Yeah.
ketchup packet.
Yeah, it's just.
This
I got
is,
it right here.
Oh, it doesn't look like Taco Bell. I thought it was gonna be like in
No,
a
just
crunch
gold.
wrap or something. Like
Holy
I'm so
shit.
disappointed.
Ugh.
Look, the 1-3 down
Yeah,
looks like they-
$1,000. They're going for $1,000.
Look at that beat up one. Somebody's definitely been eating Taco Bell off of the PlayStation 4, and they decided to
Is that
sell
does
it.
that count as it? Can I just get a PS4, eat a Taco Bell like crunch wrap off of it, and just say it's a Taco Bell PS4? and then
Right?
sell it?
Ate
guess.
fucking Taco Bell today and shit my brains out. It
I
was
saw your
horrible.
tweet. I'm happy. I have the see-through blue PlayStation 4, so I'm happy for everyone.
Doing?
This is from David saying, "Better Sony than EA buying them. The studio might still be around in a few years." Bradley says Sonic 06 over RGT85.
Jesus.
Yeah, that hurt. That hurt. I felt that one.
Chill,
Brendan
man.
says Sony buying Bungie makes sense to me. Sony Studios don't really make multiplayer games aside from MLB, so having that in-house really could help. Mike says Sony spending 1.2 billion of that Bungie deal and retention incentive means more than 1 million per employee. Where is all that money really going? I mean, I think there's gonna be some senior positions that get more of that, but it's also
Probably,
split up
unfortunately. Yeah.
for so many years. T-Joe says, will Bungie go back to releasing regular games? I have a strong feeling their other ones will be live service games too.
Why you don't think they'll
Like
make a
marathon or myth?
I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what NetEase or Tencent would have invested
You don't think
in for.
Sony's gonna reach out to Rockstar so Bungie can make a new Oni game?
Nope.
I'm sure that'll happen.
Why? It was on the PS2. It was good.
Manny says, Mystic enjoyed your video for your PS3 Online 2022.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah, you found some interesting people on that one.
Oh,
Rainbow
yeah.
Six, Rainbow Six running. People are still boycotting the paying to play online stuff.
I had to cut a lot of that. They were talkative. Yeah, they were nice guys. Really nice.
Cyborg says, shout out to Ryan. Been watching you for a long time. Also invested in a PlayStation Vita recently because of you. Got Gravity Rush for really cheap.
Oh, you're very smart. Good job.
And Paul says 2021 Game of the Year, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde NES remake. There you go.
Nice.
Leo says Sony live service games are to fund future single player IPs. They told us how expensive they are, 200 million plus and only going up. D Jones says, highly recommend Hoge's Law channel for all the recent acquisition related news. His videos have been very insightful. Brendan says the live service conversation applies to Kickstarter as well. It's all based on trust. That's why Yacht Club gets a thumbs up. It's a trusted company. Mac Mega says, for those with the Analog Pocket, does it play Game Boy Advance games better than the OG Game Boy Advance with all the latest screen and sound mods?
Nope.
Really? Okay, well then fuck it.
It plays it well though. The problem is it's not.
You
the form
don't buy a pocket for GBA. You buy a pocket for Game Boy and Game Boy Color and Game Gear, because the Game Gear is actually really good.
Yeah,
on
the
the
Game Gear's really good too. Yeah, the form factor is not. A Game Boy Advance is better. Not the SP. The Game Boy Advance with the color modification. All
Yep.
This is
what I have.
this is the color mod screen one and everything.
Yep.
And yeah, this is definitely peak.
Much better.
Oh, so I don't have an analog. That's actually, you'd recommend for form factor, just mod the shell
If
instead
that's
of a pocket.
If you're going to be playing Game Boy
would.
Advance more, and you don't have any interest in Game Boy Color, and like Game Gear.
Oh.
Although I will say the analog is going to have more of those modules to come out, and we'll be playing Neo Geo Pocket Color on it. They're going to do links. There's a lot of stuff coming up for it, so that's the one part I'm like, I mean, you can get away with Game Boy Advance. It works. It's just not the best experience.
Looks gorgeous. I just don't have one on hand, so.
It's really good if you want to capture and stream GBA games.
Oh yeah,
right.
Because with the dock,
that's why I want it. Well, it's always been my dream to play Game Boy Advance games and just like set it like Sean was I think Sean sent me a video about how you can just set it on the dock and it goes to TV.
Yeah, like Ryan, I synced up the DualSense controller. It works fine. To the analog pocket, yeah, it works fine.
Well, see, I would actually prefer, if that's the case, to use an original shell, because I don't know. I prefer, if I can play on original hardware, I usually do.
Sure. Yep.
The new screen mods are fantastic.
They are really nice.
The color is
I just
crazy.
thought they weren't as good as the analog, but I guess again, I don't know.
They're within reason, I would say. I mean, the form factor is just really good on that Game Boy Advance compared to it. I would like to see them do a Game Boy Advance like form factor analog pocket. I think that'd be really cool.
Yep. Agree.
Let's see. Bron says misclick with the shots fired, and love to see it. Trauma says
all in good fun.
Is a new Killzone game from Bungie a possibility? I mean,
my dream.
Anything's possible, I guess.
It's as much a possibility as a Banjo-Kazooie game from Toys from Bob. And
now we're talking.
If the developer wants to take that project and make a pitch to Sony and Microsoft in that case, then yes, it can become a reality.
Let me go around here as I finish some of these up. We'll go to Discord as well. Thanks Ryan for joining us tonight. You want to let everyone know where they can find you as we go through some of these last Discord questions and everything?
youtube.com/mysticrb. That's where I'll be.
Okay, awesome. And what about Celia? Thank you for joining us tonight. It's very insightful.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, it was fun.
Where can everyone find you?
Oh, okay. So personally on Twitter, I am at Celia B with 3 E's. And then I do I decided to do like a retro gaming Instagram, and I'm just at Kosher Gamer on that. But for Yacht Club Games things, it's at Yacht Club Games on literally everything, on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram. We also just started a TikTok. I haven't posted anything yet, but it's there.
Oh, that's
so yeah, you can find us there. And for any other news, we're yachtclubgames.com. And check out our Kickstarter, Mina the Hollower. It's minathehollower.com. Go check it out. Lots of fun stuff. Sorry, that was a long spiel.
That's good. Awesome. And this is from Zuck, who says, lifelong PlayStation fan, the first time Xbox owner. I'll admit, smart delivery should be the gold standard for the industry. Sony's upgrade process has been bad.
Yep.
Wait, time out. Just want to say real quick, there's a little bit of issues with that because it is the Xbox version and then you just downloading it. So I agree. Yep. I do agree that it's cool, but there's something that I like about the PS5 having it actually.
Yeah, like buying a physical disc and getting the game on the actual disc.
Yes.
I will take that every single time.
Yeah, Halo, I was like, half the game was there.
I was all smart delivery, smart. And then when people started saying, wait a minute, OJ, there's a couple things that I'm like, wait a minute, you're right. I just started buying everything on PS5 now.
Smart delivery is
like that.
Is the digital, is like where we're going with digital stuff, really. That's what it's leaning into.
Well, yeah. I think PS5's also gotten better. PS5 for that first like 8 months or so had the weird thing where it wouldn't tell you if you're playing the PlayStation 4 version of a game. And now it finally says, "Hey, you're playing the wrong version, dummy."
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does.
It told you, but there was it told you, but it was just flat text without that border around it.
Oh yeah,
well, but it's
now that they added the border, it's like plus
it has a big white icon if you're like PlayStation 5 on PlayStation 5.
But that, and they would have those two title IDs for PS4 and PS5. It would be one icon, and you'd have to see that text on the home screen, hit options, change game version.
You said switch version.
That's how bad. That's how dumb it was. Yeah, it's much better now.
Yeah.
This is Jesse saying Horizon is much better than Zelda.
I'm playing it right now. Horizon's amazing.
I like Horizon.
They're both great.
Says hello. Celia and Mystic, welcome back, Nate. I'm a Lakers fan and I cannot watch them. Did the Lakers win?
They're about to win.
Fuck off.
I am excited for Sifu Horizon Dawn 2 and GT7. Edgar says, Battlefield style Warhawk is a live service. not like the cartoony PS3 version. Well, not Battlefield, not the most recent one, I assume, but Battlefield, yes. Stud says, all right, hear me out. Live service Twisted Metal and continually announce new Sony verse character DLC like Nintendo did in Smash Directs.
That easy.
Yeah, just do it.
Juan says, would it be possible to do a Sackboy Battle Royale like Fall Guys for a paid service game?
Yes.
Why not? I mean, just try all different genres.
Nobody will buy that game. I'm just gonna say like, nobody will spend any money on that game.
Baba says, question for Celia: favorite game of all time?
Ooh, that's difficult. It would have to be on the Nintendo 60. Oh, that's hard. Okay, so I'm gonna pick a couple. I'm a cheater. Okay, so on the Nintendo 64, I love Banjo-Kazooie. It just it's what made me fall in love with gaming. But also on the Game Boy Color, okay, so Dragon Warrior Monsters. I always mess up the name, but that's my favorite Game Boy Color game of all time. It's amazing. Go play it. It was my introduction to the whole Dragon Quest everything. So those are my two favorites.
Let me go to Sean. Where can everyone find you?
Find me crying in the shower, drinking a bottle of bleach after this fucking game.
Hell yeah. Okay, but tweet it out. I want to see it.
Okay, we scored. Yeah, look at the channel tomorrow, because if you are an eagle eye viewer, there's been something in the background this whole time that I'm actually talking about tomorrow. My first time popping my virginity with one of these.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, check that out. Go watch the other videos too.
Edwin says, bounce off of John's idea. PlayStation owned VR being a mothership and players will visit other planets, game universe, Ape Escape Planet, Twisted Metal. Seems very ambitious for them to attempt VR chat, but why not? Monroe says, Metaverse Malice at the Palace, RGT.
Yes, I would be down.
Mark says, what are the chances of one of those 10 live service games from Sony is SOCOM? It's been rumored to be coming from Guerrilla Games.
I think that has been rumored. I think people are just willing that into existence.
They are willing that in existence, yes, but I would have no problem with SOCOM making a return. That'd be good. Let me go to MVG. Where can I ever find you?
Thanks for having me on. You can find me on Twitter at Modern Vintage G and YouTube Modern Vintage Gamer. Video on Monday, and yeah, that's about it. Probably Nate and I will have something out next week.
Let's go to Miss Click. Where can everyone find you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's good to have the guests on. It's cool having two different guests, also some female energy. It was a lot of fun. You can find me here on YouTube as Miss Click Gaming. I have my new archives and my new shorts channels. So all of those are going up. Halo playthroughs are going up. We have the Pokemon playthroughs going up. It's been a great time. So thanks to everybody who has been tuning into those channels. Other than that, you can find me on Twitter as Miss Click, Instagram. And I'm live almost every day on Twitch. We'll be playing through Pokemon, finishing through Halo. And we're going to be diving into the rest of the backlog. So, yeah, no more Halo Infinite, though, because I don't want to break my mouse.
This is from Mac Mega saying, shoutouts to the Masterpiece Shovel Knight. Started in Indie Revolution and personally bought it for 3 different consoles.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ragnarok says, I think if any of the live service games hit, they might use it to bring interest to the IP and make new non-service entries. This is from Yum saying, bring back Black on the PS2 on the PS5. I remember that game absolutely blowing me away on the original Xbox.
Criterion, right?
Yep.
Yes, yeah.
Good game.
Scott asks, who is on the top left?
That's Celia.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yep. They said the stream made my day. Love you all. Had a bad day. Well, Scott, hopefully it's better. Yeah, that's...
Jinx.
I'm going to assume your name is Chuck. I hope you have a good day now, Chuck.
That's Celia. We have her. I put the guest stuff down in the description as well. Risu says, what are the possibilities of Sony buying MiHoYo?
MiHoYo's the Genshin Impact stuff.
Genshin.
Oh. I'm going to say small.
No.
I'm going to say small.
Yeah, wait till Monday. I'm kidding.
Huh?
I mean, at this point, I don't.
Right.
Anything's possible, I guess.
This is from John saying, Spawncast would be the fun cast, funny quips, coming at faster than a gun blast. Love your stream. Question for me and your Pokemon team for your top 3. What's wrong, Sean? What happened?
Alec Burks Fuck this team. Blow this whole goddamn team up. From the coach down to every fucking player needs to be available on the trading block. You don't make fucking adjustments throughout the whole goddamn game. You're up 20 points. And when you see that lead slipping, what do? Do you think, maybe I should make some adjustments here? Maybe I should bring in some fresher players? No, you play the same goddamn people all the time. You put the same goddamn people in the same places all the time. And it never works. It's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Damn it! That will never solve world hunger.
Andy Reid.
Just turn the TV off, Sean. Turn the TV
Bro,
off.
I'm vibing, bro. This is great. You guys know the Bulls are in first place because they have a cohesive unit and great coaching too. Let's go, baby.
This is J2 Blue saying, "What is everyone's favorite evolution?"
Vaporeon.
Oh, evolution. Oh yeah.
Evolution. I was gonna say Dragon Ball.
I was going to say
Flareon.
the Evo when Dago beat Justin Wong with the parry, but we're talking about something different.
That was so good.
What do you got, Ryan?
Espeon.
Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. And that designer guy says, "What? So what happens if Sony or Microsoft buys Retro Studios?" Nintendo owns Retro Studios.
What?
I think there's a lot of
Nintendo buys the coalition and is like, "Yo, you're working on Kirby now." It's like, what?
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, technically they could buy Retro Studios if Nintendo was like, "We don't want you anymore."
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I think they all have to kiss if that happens.
It's true. Legally, yes,
Yeah.
they have to.
Unknown says 1886 goes to Tsushima and Burnout is successful. Sifu for live service. Just turn everything to live service now. Who needs single player games?
Fuck them.
Max, where can I find you?
YouTube.com/Dreamcast guy. I got a big review coming up tomorrow for Sifu. I can finally talk about it. It's gonna be great. So if you want to see some kung fu combos and me dying a lot because I actually suck at the game, tune in tomorrow.
Sack on 10 says Nintendo buys Yacht Club and they get to make Wario Land 5. Everyone's trying to sell Yacht Club for you.
Yeah, right.
That would be funny, but no. But also funny, but also no.
Truly Epic says, Nate, do you enjoy regular hot dogs?
What?
Regular?
Read that again.
Do you enjoy regular hot dogs?
So are they not hot? Are they like room temperature?
Or just wieners? Is it just wieners for you?
Dripping wieners?
I mean, I'll eat a hot dog. I mean, if my option is to go get a hot wiener or have a hot dog, I'll choose the wiener over the hot dog.
Absolutely.
I mean, a wiener has more high quality meat.
Nate, where can everyone
and better toppings and.
Don't question.
People can't
just
listen
go.
to the word wiener
Nate,
without laughing hilariously.
Where can everyone find you, Nate?
They can find me on YouTube at Nate the Hate. We will have a brand new episode going live early next week, and you can find out why the Batman single is up on Twitter.
But I already know why it's up on Twitter, so look for the leak on Monday.
The episode could be up on Monday. Might beat you.
Chris says you can't compare the Activision and Bungie deals. That Microsoft still has to finance future Activision Blizzard games in addition to the $70 billion purchase price. Bungie can self-publish titles without Sony funding. Rabbit says, just want to let RGT know that I did my part for the calls. I bought my copy of Dread used from Gamefly sale.
Yeah, my boy.
And then they follow up saying I did buy the digital copy in collectors though.
Piece of shit motherfucker.
Sean, nobody hates RGT85 more than the people that are subscribed to RGT85.
Right, that's like a top 10 anime betrayal right there, I guess.
Wait, isn't there a whole Facebook group? Isn't like the people versus RGT85?
Yes,
and he's a member. He was one of the first like 5.
Yeah,
he posts in there all the time.
He talks to them in their chat. Yeah.
Brendan says, as Metroid Dread still enough to convince other big devs to make more 2D games. I'm playing Strider in 2014 right now, and I'd love a sequel.
Strider's awesome.
I would like to see more 2D games. I think that'd be cool. Yeah, absolutely. Do Castlevania like that, just not bad. Then Brendan says, Dragon Ball GT Fun About is the most remembered, beloved garbage game of all time. Let me go to OJ.
Find me playing Dragon Ball GT tomorrow on the channel. No, yeah.
Right after Buck Bumble.
You better be Vegetto.
What did you? What?
Vegetto.
Whoa, what did you just say?
Vegetto.
I might have to kick Nate off the podcast. Hold on. This guy just said Vegetto.
What's wrong with Vegetto?
That's not the way you pronounce his name.
Yeah, you're spacing that name out.
He does
He does not represent
how he
the
introduces
Spawncast.
himself.
Okay.
We apologize on Nate's behalf.
Imagine Nate getting
Dragon Ball GT Final Bout. He's Vegetto. He's
Sounds
not
like something you put on a sandwich.
They spelled it wrong.
It's awesome.
Double T.
You can find me, like I said, not playing Dragon Ball GT Final Bout. That game sucks. I'll be playing Dragon Ball Attack of the Saiyans. Dragon Ball Z. No, I'm joking. No, that game is awesome though. But yeah, find me YouTube player. It's got a cool video tomorrow morning. Talk about some Fire Emblem stuff. So yeah, check it out if you're into RPGs, you're into Nintendo stuff, and I stream. So yeah, pretty much every day. So check it out.
Yum says if Tatsunoko went up in price, I'm glad I still have it. Why can't they import these games on the Switch, especially Operation Rainfall games? Can't they import?
Ask Nintendo.
There you go. Tijo says Wild Arms loved the series growing up, especially the 5th game. In my opinion, is so underrated that Sony shelved it like most of their old franchises.
Yep.
Jalen says, not sure if this has been asked yet or not, but to the guest of the podcast, N64 GameCube. Everyone was asking about N64 GameCube. Yeah. Another one just like that from Loom Doom. Yep. Zaid says, are you that Legends will be this new series of the games? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hope so. I hope they at least make that a full series. I think it's pretty cool. That's Big says, oh, good. Leaks make me more excited for games. Thanks, Nate. There you go.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Nate.
Strawman says, I wonder how much of the appeal of leaks is having special knowledge few people have. I know that's part of what draws people to conspiracy theories. Ragnarok says, think Bayonetta 3 people keep asking. Wishbone says the Spawncast should go bigfooting. Who can track? That's Sean, right? Sean all day, right? You like going outside. You like the outdoors.
Send out his scouting creatures and stuff.
Raccoons and a woodchuck.
Yeah, you talk to animals.
There's no animals around here though, where I moved
to. This is from Rich asks, what happened to the Shovel Knight Treasure Trove physical on PS4? Best Buy still has it for pre-order, but I'm hearing it was canceled.
So if your store or seller has not canceled it yet, please contact them and cancel it. Unfortunately, the supply chain, like a lot of things happened because of the pandemic and a lot of stuff. We wrote a whole blog on it on our website, and I'm really sorry to disappoint you, and we're disappointed too. So sorry this turned into a bummer note, but yeah, make sure to cancel that because we canceled it, and they're supposed to. Majority of them have, so I'm kind of surprised that yours hasn't. So. Sorry.
Andrew says, bought a new PC. Any PC exclusive recommendations? Apparently not New World. Apparently not that one.
If you're by yourself, absolutely not. No, you gotta be with the group for that.
If you're into tactics game, War Tales is out, but it says like an early release. It's really fun though. I've been playing that.
Not exclusive, but Dying Light on PC has a ton of extra graphic stuff that does not exist on console.
Yeah, I'm a little annoyed about that. The console version does not look that good.
Dude, I today just for fun, I put on the 4K ray tracing mode, and it's just bonkers. I literally just stood on a roof and stared at leaves.
Ian says, do you think the chip shortage will factor in Nintendo's next gen console release timeline? I would assume so because they're going to have to build it.
No. Yeah. Not in the way people think. Orders for this would have already been made. It would just have a limited supply, like you're seeing with the PS5 and the Xbox.
They make those orders well in advance. That's a good point. It just might be a limited release again. Oh boy. Brennan says, living in Taiwan, JRPGs are only in Japanese with Chinese subs on physical copies, so buying digitally is necessary. Reading Chinese is really difficult. Designer says physical is great, but most of these physical games rely on day one patches. A disc is almost worthless because of day one patches. Cyberpunk is an example.
No.
John said,
no. That's the generalization bad example to try to prove your point. So no.
John says, I always thought Nintendo would buy Sega.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Rabbit says it frustrates me that people hold up Sword and Shield sales numbers as if that's proof that the game is good. It was a new generation on the Switch. There's no way it wasn't going to sell well. People really don't like Sword and Shield, huh?
I hate it.
Man.
I don't think it was a bad game. It just I think people were expecting something different, and you just brought the handheld experience to the console.
I'm just saying, if I swipe on Tinder and I'm like, man, this girl's gonna be a hottie, and she shows up look like Sword and Shield.
Don't continue, Max. I'm saving you here. I'm saving you.
And I will stop this joke.
I'm gonna say, as someone who didn't get a ton of Pokemon experience growing up, I kind of already had a preconceived notion of Pokemon. It wasn't different from that preconceived notion of what I had played handheld. It was very much more the same, and I think people wanted different. So was it bad? No. Was it wow? Also,
but now we got Arceus. Arceus is better than
now we have
Sword and Shield. There you
Arceus.
go.
It's not that people are holding up. It's just like it shows that not everybody thinks what the online mob wants you to think, because that's what the online mob was saying. Everybody hates it. It's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Well, no, people are.
That mob themselves have clocked 200 hours on their save file. I don't want to hear it.
Saying. So it's like it's not holding it up, bro. It's like
they
it's
wrote
like factual.
that. They wrote that. Then they went to shiny hunt a Pachirisu. I don't want to hear it.
You know what's I don't even know what that was, but you know what is amazing about Arceus is that it got to 6.5 million copies sold in 3 days. MVG. There was no change.org. There was no petition. No nothing.
Maybe
what could have been, right?
Maybe times are changing. Man, don't need that petition anymore.
I don't know. I mean, but what could have been? Could this have been the best-selling one ever?
Could have been.
We'll never know. We'll never know. This is you all right, Sean?
Yeah, I'm good.
You look like you aged like 20 years in the last like 2 hours of this Knicks game. You've been like up here, down here, up here, over here.
I was smart when I went to have my after third quarter cigarette. I went ahead and took my sleeping pill, so that because this is actually a bit subdued, more subdued than normal.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. Wait, what we just saw was more subdued?
Yeah.
Brit. Oh, you know what? You did rip your shirt off at one point because they made a game-winning shot, so I do believe you actually.
Yeah.
Jose says, great show tonight, everyone. Duan says, how are you guys doing tonight? I got a couple questions. How is Dying Light 2? How is the game? I got a question for Miss Click. You know where can I find you so I can watch your videos?
If it's on Twitch, you can just type in Miss Click with 2 S's. Anywhere else, you can just type in Miss Click.
You have a highlights channel too, right, for the streams?
Yeah, there's the archives channel and everything now. So if you want previous games, that's constantly being uploaded with content now. It's a lot easier versus being on Twitch archives.
Dying Light 2 is fun but janky. It's gonna take a little while before they fix it.
I put up a 16-minute
I was having fun with it.
It's very smooth on PC, but I feel like it feels like one of those games that they completely finished on PC and went, put it on console, you know.
Yeah. It's not as terrifying at night. I'm just kind of like rolling. Like, I don't know. The first one had like that fear kind of.
I think as long as you stay on the roofs, try and walk on the ground sometime. Fuck you.
Yeah. David says, as a PR major, it was so awesome seeing Celia's perspective and experience. Would love to have her back on this Spawncast soon. Yeah. This is Fish Fan. Shout out to RGT for conquering Taco Bell. He did survive.
Barely.
Georgie says Mystic is different from PlayStation fanboys on Twitter. Good job.
I would hope so. It's not what I'm not trying to be.
Very small minority of people, by the way. When it comes to fanboys, most PlayStation fans just play their games. Yeah, just whatever. You know?
Last thing I want to do is be that.
Kevin says, so where is the Shovel Knight cereal? I heard on a podcast a long time ago, merchant stuff was spoken. So yeah.
We joke about everything. I said Shovel Knight Pizza Party. Sean has said Shovel Knight theme parks. But we plan to have it happen eventually, so keep an eye out. If it ever happens, I'll post about it on social media. So stay tuned.
Juku says, can I get a shout out, please? Shout out to Juku or Juku. Okay.
That was a terrible shout out.
Well, no, because you go back through and you look at sometimes, names come up and they're trying to get to so I just get Chuku. There we go.
No, I think he became a member too.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Juku. CM says, has RGT played Celeste yet?
No.
Okay. Dominic says, has anyone on the cast played Predator Concrete Jungle in the OG Xbox? One of the most underrated games.
Yeah. Wow.
That's taking it
back. It's a good game, and I even read the terrible book. A book based on that game.
Wow.
Okay. GTA 6 confirmed that from Steve. Exciting stuff. We'll see it in 5 years. And he says, RGT, tell us how you really feel. Oh, really? 4.5?
Yeah. Less than that.
Oh, 3? 2?
Let's go with 3. Just
okay.
Depending on how the flow goes.
Rabbit says, last time RGT went upside for a video, he lost his car keys. That's when he threw it off the bridge. That's right.
Yeah.
What?
He threw the Switch off the bridge. Lost his car keys. Victor says, I can't wait for my Steam Deck to arrive so I can play Silent Hill 4 on the go via GOG. Playing Silent Hill on my PS Vita. Now need Silent Hill 2 and 3 portably. It's from George saying, do you guys think we'll ever get another Mario and Luigi game? Probably not.
I wish.
Maybe.
That'd be nice.
I think we might.
That or Silent Hill first?
Nope.
Ooh, probably Mario and Luigi.
Wow, really? Jeez, Nate.
Even Nate doesn't believe in Silent Hill anymore.
Wow.
Silent Hill is happening.
Mm-hmm.
It was foggy here for the last 3 days, and that's an omen that Silent Hill is coming. You'll see, MVG.
I feel like we've been here before.
It's because he's making this our purgatory. We are in Silent Hill right now.
Bradley says stuck in a trap from the movie Saw over RG85.
He's the leader of the hate group. It is.
Living up to it. All right. Elvin says Celia should be a permanent member of the cast. Shout out to Celia. And Evan, you want to finish up with some of the Discord questions?
We got a bunch. Is Game Pass the biggest single threat to physical media?
Yes.
No. Okay, next one.
What happened to Detective Pikachu on Switch?
Who cares?
Stay tuned.
Next.
Thoughts on
That's
Epic
coming.
being acquired by Sony or Microsoft? Seems like Microsoft's type
Thoughts
of
on who?
purchase. Epic.
Thoughts on who?
Yeah, Epic's not selling.
Epic.
10%.
No.
Tencent owns 40% of them. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're fine with Apple. They're fine.
Past Breath of the Wild 2, what do we think the next Zelda is going to be like?
The next
Awesome.
Who
Next.
knows?
It's
retro-ish.
It's gonna have a sword in the woods that you have to go get.
Would be dungeons in it. Better be
Spoilers,
dungeons in it.
He just leaked that there's a forest. You heard that? Jesus.
Yeah, it's a talking tree too.
Whoa!
Would Nintendo
and
look
there's a bear
into
that runs around the woods? It does.
Oh, come on. Go. It's almost fucking 3 hours.
Jesus.
would Nintendo look to buy into Konami similarly to how they've done other companies?
Next.
I wish they
more
would now.
acquisition questions,
Probably
bro. No
And
more.
listen, you ambient hive motherfucker, calm down.
Any question about acquisitions, just say you can buy these nuts.
If we're thinking Call of Duty is going to be Microsoft exclusive, what about games like Crash and Spyro?
Those will be
Maybe.
Microsoft exclusive.
For sure.
Maybe. Next.
Okay, what is it that many video game studios like Intelligent
Yes.
Systems, HAL, and
They
okay,
should, they're gonna wrap up Intelligent Systems.
almost none of them get acquired by Nintendo yet, even though they have been working exclusively with Nintendo for a decade. Like,
What's the point?
They would only do it if it had to be defensive, like next level games.
yeah,
Like they're looking to sell. Someone might come in and buy them. Let's just go ahead and bring them in. That
and
kind
we
of thing.
already went over PlayStation Studio, so I'm just gonna consider that one done. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, and Derek says, "How did you get two amazing, smart women on the podcast?" I'll say.
You know, man.
How do we
we're
find
actually
these
not-
women?
We're
You know,
not.
Where
I was just free tonight.
We're not
You
real.
can't find them. Oh my god.
We don't exist. Actually, we're
They don't
just a figure.
exist.
We're actually AI. for
Very
VR
hard to
chat.
program AI.
Can confirm.
Shit, I'm the only AI here.
I just didn't give you a face yet, but I had to work with these two.
Move on from these incel questions. Move on to the next one.
There was Bradley asked any thoughts on the new Ryzen SBC. Excited for emulation possibilities. I've not looked into the new Ryzen. I will have to look into that. That sounds like an MVG situation.
I have not looked into it either.
New Ryzen.
MVG's
Well,
like pass.
Stay tuned for MVG. He's got the emulation.
He's just
stuff
saying
going on
maybe
there,
to
so.
everything.
We got you, Bradley. Ryzen
Maybe.
SBC. I will look into that though, actually, because you start seeing some handheld show up with those. Could be good. Let's finish up here. That's everything, right, Evan? We're good.
Yeah, it should be good.
Cool, bye.
What about this last question?
What about what? I don't see nothing. Somebody says Xbox killed the gay stations. I think we're
Not
done.
that one.
Gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Nanobit,
That's a Sony put.
Nanobit
Mm-hmm.
donated and said for Celia, how was the hot Cheetos macaroni and cheese?
Oh, I posted that on Twitter last night. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Okay.
Was
that's
it
my-
tasty?
Oh, okay,
yeah.
I see. No, I see the. Okay, no, there were
Dang.
like 3 over on Streamlabs is what I saw here. I see them now. Sorry.
I
Really?
chickened out, to be honest. I looked at it and I was like, not today, Satan, not today. And then I didn't.
Dang.
But if
Liam
anyone
says-
wants some day old mac and cheese, you can have it.
All right, yeah, just mail it to me.
I'll take
Liam
Mail
says,
to
as a
Sean, he'll
Switch owner,
definitely eat it.
I'm really not too happy about all these companies being bought. Nintendo is never going to make a move, especially if something like Square got bought. It would seriously hurt Nintendo console third-party support in the future.
Doubt it'll get to that level.
I don't know if I get to.
Well, there's still indies and stuff too, though. But
Nintendo
not
invested a
possible.
lot in their internal studios,
They
so
march the
they
beat of their
invested
own
quite a bit.
drum. Yeah.
Stop worrying about everything. If that happens, then just play wherever the games go to. And then you don't need to bitch. Bam,
Mac-
it's done. Bam.
Mac Mega said with the the Knicks not making the playoffs this year and the next MPD is coming up, at least RGT could play Balan Wonderworld with no distractions during the summer.
Suck my asshole.
Dan says, nice haircut, Sean. Lou says, how about a Smash TV VR game? Nintendo says, great content. I hope to be part of the panel someday. It's from Nintendo Academy. And Baby says, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we're going back to buying separate external disc reader for the next gen console. I don't even know if they'll do that. They'll just be like, nah, there's no more physical media. That's it.
Don't you all have Wi-Fi?
Yeah. And I think we're good. Okay. Thanks everyone for joining us for Spawncast. We'll be back here next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. See you guys then.
Goodbye, friends.
Bye.